ball. This could be a chance across the center.
Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
The road to the UPSL Championship final is preparing for yet another fascinating fork as we get ready for the Southeast Conference final match. Two sides with very different journeys this season are set to match up this afternoon in Peachtree City, Georgia, at the home of Peachtree City MOBA, with reigning national champions Soda City FC taking on Florida State champions Current FC. With a spot in the semi-finals on the line, Soda City battle to reclaim their title and become the first back-to-back champions in UPSL history. With Current FC founded just under a year ago, looking to continue a dream start in UPSL. I'm Jessica Charman. Today we will be joined by Madison Cruz and Jason Longshore on the sidelines. Bringing everything together is, of course, Atlantic Soccer Media Group. We're delighted to be here today for what is set to be a historical matchup. But for now, we are going to lay out as you get to see the players walking onto the pitch, the national anthem. We'll be back with a preview in just a matter of moments. To a rather drizzly Peachtree City, Georgia, getting ready to host the UPSL Championship quarterfinal, which also serves as the Southeast Conference final match. Jessica Charman, Madison Crew, Jason Longshore, and our entire crew from Atlantic Soccer Media Group, delighted to be here with you on UPSL. And Madison, this one can be considered somewhat of a David versus Goliath on paper, but it's no doubt when you get this deep into a national tournament run that anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Looking at current FC, finished 4th in the regular season, took down some really big names in UPSL, top team CSS, and then as well as Little Haiti FC coming in to get them here today to face the reigning national champions in Soda City FC. Soda City FC looking to do the impossible and be the first team in UPSL history to win back-to-back national titles.
But it would be difficult to bet against Soda City FC and turning that impossible into possible as we get a look at the bracket here. As we mentioned, this serves as a quarterfinal as well as a Southeast Conference title game. And it will be fascinating to see who will face FUT in a victory today. A reminder, of course, if 90 minutes isn't enough to separate these two sides, we will be followed by extra time and a possibility of penalties as well. Here's a close-up of the huddle of Soda City FC out of Columbia, South Carolina. As you mentioned so well, Madison, this side is full of talent, and they had to knock off a very difficult KSA side in a 3-2 victory in order to arrive in this game.
And that hat trick from Raf Salifu solidified it completely. He was brilliant in that game. He was a standout player, just not only from the hat trick, but just what he was able to do on the ball. He's able to get into the right moments. He's able to pick out those passes and deliver it to himself. He was a force against Kalanji Pro Profile, who is a very, very strong team, especially in the Georgia Premier Division.
And it is Current FC coming all the way from Florida today. As we mentioned, founded just under a year ago. But boy, it has been a dream start to UPSL life. It will be Soda City standing over the ball in those light blue uniforms, getting ready to kick us off. Current FC in the dark blue with some stripes across the middle from right to left. The referee's blown his whistle and we're underway. First 45 minutes of action from Peachtree City, Georgia in this Southeast Region Championship match for UPSL. Soda City looking to get underway with some possession as Gattuso will recycle it into his back line. McTutus will end up all the way back with today's goalkeeper for Soda City, Jacob Cotton. A diagonal switch up to the top of the play, looking for Salifu with that hat trick that you mentioned, as a poor giveaway out the back will fall to Gattuso. Gattuso with an early driven ball, cleared away by the back line. Gattuso tried to dink it forward, it's cleared away, and Current FC unable to make a positive play out of their first touches in this match.
One thing you're seeing from the passes, especially as you look at the weather outside, a little bit of doom and gloom, there's a little bit of rain, but that's something to watch for in this match, especially with the turf field. The ball might skid, might slide a little bit more. There's less traction there.
And it's interesting you mentioned that, Madison, in a game of such weight on your shoulders, making sure that you do all those little things right early on to calm the nerves that both sides will be facing, but probably more the debutante in this game. Here's Soda City driving forward with Martin. He'll lay it wide to Gattuso. Gattuso assessing. A little drop of the shoulder as Gattuso rounds the defender. Gattuso drives it, and just too much on that cross.
Was under a lot of pressure there, was forced just to make the quick pass to try and connect something as you had a couple of Soda City players in the box. It was just a lot of power on it, especially because he was leaning back as he was trying to make the cross.
Current FC getting pinned back a little bit by that high Soda City line. So they'll have to just send it forward with a hit and hope ball that might turn into something as Moreno chases. It's cleared up into the air. Daniels challenges with Gattuso. Gattuso's touch is forward and out for another deep defensive Current FC throw-in.
Early in the first few minutes, Soda City having most of the possession here, just taking their time, connecting those passes, but Current FC is not letting them get too far up as they want to. A lot of pressure from Current FC.
It's all about that first goal in these big games, and Soda City looking to break through here. Martin squared the pass, well defended in the end by Current FC. A shot from distance is flicked, and our first save of the day falls to Owen Jack, and Jack comfortable at his near post. A giveaway though, out the back line, falls straight to Martin. Martin lays it across, and a strike is into the back of the net from Lamar Thompson. Soda City draw first blood with a poor giveaway out the back from Current FC. And it's an early goal for the reigning champions. Lamar Thompson makes no mistake.
Not only the reigning champs, but Lamar Thompson, the reigning MVP of the national tournament. What better way to start off the match than having him be the first one to get on the scoreboard?
So dagger to the hearts of Current FC, who have had a long journey to make it here, but now they will have to respond to the adversity and battle back. The good news though, Madison, of course, is there's plenty of soccer left to be played in this game. That goal taking place in just the 3rd minute, but we'll see how the new kids on the block are able to respond. Montesano, as chasing this one is Moreno. Moreno chests it down. Moreno tries to connect with the strike, wasn't able to do so. Great response though from Current FC. Referee calls the foul after a cheeky little nutmeg from Izzy Daniels.
I want to try to get a replay of that one again. Izzy Daniels just able to just slip it right in between the defender for Soda City. It's great footwork.
And confident play. Set pieces, such an important opportunity for Current FC to try and get an opportunity now. Standing over the ball is Johnny Mendoza, a player that has plenty of experience at high levels of soccer across the United States.
played with Orlando City SC when they were in USL right before they made the jump to MLS. He's had so much experience, and it's great to have that veteran player on the pitch for Current FC.
Mendoza will be tasked with an important service here as our referee for the afternoon, Joshua Manrufo, shows an early yellow card. Yellow card was flashed to number 5, Caleb Daniels. Big decision now for Daniels to play for an extended period on that caution. Mendoza serves it in towards the penalty spot. It's headed clear. And Soda City now with an opportunity on the counter. Martin wasn't able to get that one under control. Of course, Hakeem Martin had a huge role in the pressure that led to the go-ahead goal. Current FC trying to spring forward another attack. Daniels should keep this in. He does. And a stab tackle away. Nicely done by Gattuso. Thompson's pop pass, a little under hit. Be recovered by Current FC. Wilson distributes wide. It's all the way into the back line now through Kale Saunders. So far, 6 minutes into this matchup, Madison, it has been a game that is obviously separated by a goal, but Current FC has looked very much like they belong in this matchup.
They've been putting a lot of pressure on Soda City, especially when they get into their own attacking half. They're putting pressure on the back line. They're trying to force them to make those turnovers.
There's a battle on the edge of the 18. There is a player down now for Soda City as a challenge had come in and across by Kale Saunders. We'll have another look at what took place here from that long delivery, Madison.
Both going for the ball. A little bit of a head collision. Both of them were trying to settle the ball. And it might have gotten clipped in the back of the head a little bit from that challenge. The ref's going to drop it to Current.
It is Kale Saunders involved in that challenge that gets an opportunity to recycle back to Owen Jack in goal. Jack sends it forward. It's flicked on further afield by Izzy Daniels, but no one ran ahead of him. Soda City looking to add another to their tally as Gattuso cushions that down tidily. Starts it back through Caleb Daniels. Daniels, who of course did receive that yellow card in the melee inside the 18-yard box earlier on.
That's going to be dangerous, especially for the rest of this game. We know how emotions can get high in these moments, and depending on how the rest of this game goes, that could be crucial.
See how much of a impact that has. Now driving forward is Nico Diaz. Diaz, round one, getting pulled back. Diaz still remains controlled. Is driven. Early cross into the mixer. It's headed away. The ball's still in a dangerous area. Soda City trying to break through. Cushioned down by Monsanto. And the foul is called against Soda City FC. A good-looking free kick opportunity now for Current FC as they look to fight back.
I believe what the ref saw in that, it was, I believe, a late push as they both were trying to win the ball. You'll see it right here. Just comes in a little bit later is that one shoulder bump, and he'll get the free kick for Current.
Taiki Martin, the guilty party there. I'll set up a interesting free kick. Current FC have 2 over it right now. Nico Diaz. Also lingering over there is Nate Monsanto. It's Diaz from distance, straight in to the calm hands of Jacob Cotton. Good save in the end, though, Madison, from distance.
And we know Nico Diaz can do that, especially for Current FC. He scored in that last matchup against Little Haiti. It was a great ball from Johnny Mendoza to connect with him in the 53rd minute. He also played for Louisville in the ACC, Inter Miami and Orlando City Academy, and was Brave USL 2 top goal scorer in Florida in 2024. He was also the leading goal scorer for Current FC as well. He is a huge playmaker.
And a player that needs to find more opportunities to get onto the ball today for Current FC. De Soto Starts back with Jack. Jack will launch it forward. It's headed back where it came from by TJ Paul. Spinning in the center circle is Moreno. And it's calm possession from Current FC now. Driven cross. Little awkward finish from Izzy Daniels. Ends up being comfortable in the end for Jacob Cotton.
Calm, cool, and collected from Jacob Cotton, able just to step up. It rolls right into his hands. He's able to collect it and distribute it back to the rest of the team.
It's interesting, the goalkeeper situation for Jacob Cotton. Didn't play in the round of 16. McGuinness started that one. Jacob Cotton, though, with an opportunity in this all-important quarter-final matchup now. So a threaded pass forward. It was knocked back by Salifu. And TJ Paul controls in the middle. Gattuso. And Madison, this is just calm, cool, composed possessional play right now from the team with the lead that is Soda City.
Was going to say that just before. I mean, they're taking their time with it. They're trying to build a little bit, take their time with those passes, and then waiting for the right opportunity to then jump in.
We will go down to Jason Longshaw right now, our sideline reporter that we're blessed to have here with us. Jason, how's the vibes right now going? And in fact, I'm going to make you hold that thought as Mendoza drives forward. Mendoza with a cross into the box. It's blocked away and shoveled clear by Soda City. Wilson looking for an overlap. It's out of play. We will now go down to Jason Longshaw. Jason, how are the vibes there with the early goal for Soda City on the sidelines?
One of the most interesting things about the start to this game was the fact that you have so many members of the coaching staff for Current FC on the field. So the bench area for Current, very quiet early on. For Soda City, very loud. And I think you saw that pay off with the early goal. But it seems like Current, again, probably because they have those coaches on the field, they've really settled down and they're starting to find their connections, especially here on the right side.
Thank you, Jason. We'll be back with far more nuggets from the voice of Atlanta United during this game. As we mentioned, it is the early third-minute goal coming in from Lamar Thompson that has Soda City right now with the 1-0 lead.
Which is so interesting, back to Jason's point. They are a player-run club. I mean, just you have all the coaching staff, almost all of them, on the field with you right now. Nate Monsanto, he's the head coach and is currently holding down the fort for everything for Current FC. But it's not just him. You have a couple of players who are on the field who are also assistant coaches. A player-run club, it makes it interesting, especially when you look at the bench. Normally you hear the head coach on the sideline yelling tactics, seeing where you can go here. But it's very empty right now because everyone's on the pitch helping out.
I did love what Jason Longshaw said, though, about how it was easier almost to respond to that adversity knowing you had the leadership on the field. Daniels back to DeSoto, and he'll start all the way through the back line with Cale Saunders.
You also saw the same thing, too, with FC Birmingham earlier on in the Georgia Premier Division. They also had a player-run head coach. A lot of coaching changes for them, but you had him in the back line, and it was interesting chatting with him just about the dynamic and how different it can be. But it's also interesting that you can relay those tactics. You get a first-hand seat as to what is happening on the pitch.
Lamar Thompson driving through challenges, lays across the ball to Gattuso. Gattuso has options in the box. Can he find them? Gattuso, step over, driven cross, cleared away by Cale Saunders. Great positioning in the end by Cale Saunders, the Orlando City Academy product. As Current FC still looking to now break down this left-hand side. Daniels. Pass was overhit as Weston DeSoto a little frustrated with his teammate and that service.
That's the one thing that Soda City's been doing a great job with. Every time Current FC gets the ball, they're so quick to try and win it back, clean up their mistakes, then get back possession going their way. Just like that.
And then the direct ball forward. It was searching for Thompson, headed away in the end. And Cale Saunders connects, but his pass a little wayward into the middle of the park. Gattuso. McTutus. Here's Martin. Wickman to TJ Paul, and Soda City right now with a masterclass in possession, toying with current FC right now. It's keep away at its finest.
Push them all the way into their defensive half, just not allowing them to break through, which is going to be interesting to see how current FC can handle when they do get possession, how quickly they can then push it up and get back in their attacking half.
Such a test of fitness as well. Anyone that has played a game of 5v2 knows exactly how exhausting it is in the middle. TJ Paul tried the splitting pass. It's a great step out the back by Kale Saunders. He's able to find Monsanto. Starts all the way back with Heath Martin. Saunders. This time Branton. And across to De Soto. De Soto doesn't commit to the challenge, and it's the good positioning of David Gattuso that sees it stay in Soda City possession with the throw.
David Gattuso has been really, really brilliant for Soda City in the first couple minutes. He's able to retreat back, able to defend when he needs to, but just his ball delivery and him being able to be in great positioning to win the ball back for Soda City, but then to push it forward and create the attack.
Kale Saunders pops that one up into the air. Monsanto, as there were some calls for a potential foul. Soda City play on. There's a physical challenge, gets waved away. Good call from the referee to allow this one to flow. A direct switch across to Izzy Daniels. Daniels chests it down to Mendoza, and in the end, the referee blows the whistle, of course, with the head injury, Madison. The referee has to pause that play to assess.
Was motioning to the ref before. Martin was almost pointing to his mouth, almost as in that head collision. He got hit there, and he did go down, just trying to make sure that that all gets checked out.
We definitely heard some fans in the crowd not too happy with the contact on Hakeem Martin. Felt like a coming together. Joshua Manrufo, our referee today, didn't see anything untoward in that moment, but do want to give praise to the referee for obviously following that protocol that is so necessary with assessing a head injury.
Have to take the opportunity just to make sure the player's okay, get the staff on the field, check them out, make sure everyone is going okay, make sure they get the ABCs, and then they can get back to the play. So it's great work by the referee crew.
I think it's also very important right now to take this moment to praise the fans that have made the long journeys down as well. Obviously, we know two very different journeys, one from Columbia, South Carolina, and current FC obviously coming all the way up from New Smyrna Beach in Florida.
And you mentioned fans. One thing that's so interesting with current FC, even though being a brand new team established in February of 2024, they've had a lot of fan attendance for them. One of their biggest fan attendance was a game of 500 plus filling the stadium for their 1-0 thriller versus Little Haiti. So it's really cool to have that community really flourish in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Just embrace this new club.
Definitely saw the partnerships as well with youth clubs. So important to have that inspiration of the next generation of players. We're going to head down to Jason Longshore real quick. Didn't have a great viewpoint from your side of the pitch, Jason, but you can certainly hear what Soda City's bench are making of that challenge, Jason Longshore.
Yeah, didn't get a great look at the second one. It was on the other side. The first one that was the complaint, I don't think there was a whole lot in it. There is going to be a temporary sub for Martin. I'll get that for you in just a bit.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jason Longshore. It's a quarterfinal game. It's a Southeast Championship game. Tensions are always going to be high in these matches, Madison. I think in the end, the referee handled that one very well, calmly taking control of the situation.
That's always a balance, I think, when you referee games like this. You know the emotion can get high. You know that both of these teams, they're fighting for an opportunity to go to California and be in the semifinals to possibly win the national championship. You know, you got to take the time to, you know, bring things down, make the right calls, and make sure that everyone isn't getting too in over their heads.
We saw Jose Flores come in as a temporary concussion substitution. As a long ball over the top. In the end, it was a no-nonsense clearance by Branton Saunders ahead of his goalkeeper, Owen Jack. Soda City remain in possession. Good to see those temporary substitutions available as well to truly assess the nature of the head injury. Caleb Daniels. To Niaza Tamini. And the long ball over the top is cleared away. We are hearing that Hakeem Martin has some blood in his mouth and he's urging himself to continue, but again, very important that that's taken care of as Gattuso tried to round the defense of De Soto. De Soto wins that duel this time.
Was gonna say, I think that's one of the reasons you add the temporary sub. Gotta get a new jersey, especially if blood did get on that jersey. Gotta make sure that everything, you're checking all the boxes, and then you can get back out on the pitch.
Martin. So, ball down the flank for Moreno to chase. Moreno, first touch a little heavy, but he'll be able to scoop it into an area of the Parker. Swing and a miss by Gattuso. Be taken down calmly to De Soto. De Soto plays inside now to Diaz. Diaz tried to thread the eye of the needle. The run wasn't quite made by Heath Martin, but it's encouraging for Current FC.
It's a great idea from Nico Diaz. I gotta also bring in a little bit of praise too to Johnny Mendoza. That's just where that experience comes in, able to capitalize on the rebound ball, settle it, and then able to try to pick out the pass to Nico Diaz.
Maddie, got to give you the praise because Jason Longshore is letting us know on the sideline that Martin does have some blood on his jersey, so they're making sure they can take care of that protocol. So Johnny on the spot as always, Madison Cruz.
I try.
Kel Saunders. Across to De Soto. And back now to Mendoza. More confident possession for Current FC, and the curse of the commentator strikes as Johnny Mendoza turns it over.
TJ Paul just really quick with it, able to jump in and is able to intercept it. Now Soda City with an opportunity.
It's a quick drive forward now for Soda City to the byline. It's squared back, appeals that it went out of play. AR on the near side agrees.
Just took it a little too late. It did go over the touchline. So it'll be Current FC get an opportunity to hold possession a little bit, take their time, and then build something from here. Because Soda City has had all the control in this first half.
They do have the goal to show for it. A reminder, Lamar Thompson. If you joined us late, the foul is called. Current FC with a free kick. If you joined us late to the party, then you may have missed the one goal of the game because Lamar Thompson got things started very, very early. A third minute a goal with the assist coming from Hakeem Martin. And as we think back to that goal, Madison, it's a goal that Current FC will probably be a little disappointed to have given up due to the nature of the giveaway that led to the goal.
It's unfortunate because, especially in those first few minutes of the game, that's where you build that momentum within both sides. And giving up a goal that early on, that stops it immediately, because then it takes you a little bit more time to get under it, because now you're dealing with gotta come back after one goal, gotta tie it up. And Current FC has done a good job of getting back into this game. It's just those small little moments of maybe taking the extra pass, maybe holding it. It's that decision making that I think Current FC are slowly getting more into the game as we continue on.
The good news, of course, for Current FC is it is still 1-0 as a high press on Jacob Cotton, the goalkeeper, almost turned into a thing of nightmares for Soda City. But they do respond very positively. Lamar Thompson unable to get there ahead of Cale Saunders. And I'll tell you, Cale Saunders, a distinctive haircut, but also a very distinctive player. He's done a marvelous job in that back line across the first 24 minutes of play.
Has done a good job of closing things down. Just unfortunately unable to keep that ball in play. It did go over the touchline before he could connect to another teammate, but it's great work from him. He's been all over the place, not allowing the likes of Salifu as well as Thompson to get back in.
There he was again with the step across Lamar Thompson. Not an easy candidate to have to try and contain. Bar the goal, of course, Lamar Thompson has been kept fairly quiet by this Current FC back line. Throw-in will be looped forward. Here is Lamar Thompson. It's driven forward, but only as far as Soda City. JC McTutus. Across to Gattuso. Gattuso's cross is deflected. It's cleared away. Only as far as McTutus. McTutus, those. Pocket is picked. Good work by Nate Monsanto. Monsanto Such an important part of this current FC side, Madison, on the pitch and in the boardroom.
It's just so interesting, especially when you hear a lot of these player coaches talk about that and being able to close down the midfield.
Advantage given. In the end, able to take the free kick that far forwards. As trying to shield it back to his goalkeeper. Dangerous play back there by Branton Saunders. And that one would have had the referee in a little bit of trouble because I don't think the free kick was taken from where it occurred.
It was taken very, very quickly. It was almost like advantage was played on. It was all really confusing in the middle of talking, and then the play just continues.
I think the referee would have taken a sigh of relief when that play ended up breaking down versus leading to an opportunity. Here is an opportunity, though. A direct ball forward for Izzy Daniels. Daniels can't get there. Really big step forward by Nyaza Tamini. Monsanto waits it forward to De Soto. De Soto charging towards the 18. De Soto cuts it back. Cleared away by Tamini. Still alive. Great move by Daniels. Daniels, can he keep it in? He does. Daniels cuts it back towards the penalty spot. Nobody there for Current FC. In the end, having to start things back with Saunders. Beautiful chip forward to De Soto. De Soto couldn't get through the defense of Gattuso. And now some strength by Salifu on the ball. Soda City. Looked like they had an opportunity to break forward, opted to reset. And this time pouncing on the possession was Martin.
It's great work from Current FC, though, winning the ball back from Soda City. Soda City taking their time. You know, you have the 1-0 lead to your advantage. You can take those opportunities instead of maybe trying the fast break forward. You can take it back, hold possession a little bit. But it's still an early game. Current FC is slowly creeping their way into this one, creating a lot of really good chances forward.
Current FC will certainly be growing in confidence. Mentioned the new kids on the block in so many ways. Founded just a little under a year ago, and they found themselves in a really impressive run of form, unbeaten in their last 6. And as we always talk about, form is all about finding form at the right time, and they're certainly doing it in the playoff run.
Run of form. They're also looking to win their 4th trophy in 11 months of them being a club. That's so interesting when you look at where this club has grown and developed from and what they've been able to do. They call themselves the home for local talent, as we see a lot of them are from the new Smyrna Beach area.
It's interesting, New Smyrna Beach. Known as a surfers area, but clearly soccer is blooming, but they'll have to defend here as Soda City looking to break forward. A threaded pass towards Thompson. Great goalkeeping. Quick off of his line was Owen Jack.
Owen Jack played 4 years at Stenson and was captain there, and there's a reason for that. That is just that experience level, coming forward, able to get it. He didn't get a firm grasp on it. As you saw, the ball did skip a little bit in front of him, but then able to quickly grab it.
Here's Soda City again, charging forwards quickly, trying to go on his own because of the potential offside, or blatant offside, I should say. It was Theo Wickman coming up all by himself there. Lamar Thompson didn't have the gas to get back into an onside position. De Soto has been busy in the last 10 minutes or so on this left-hand flank as Current FC look to try and find another attack. De Soto with a toe poke forwards. Moreno, a lucky bounce for him as Moreno continues to drive forwards. In the end, swiped away, no nonsense, out the back by Soda City. Monsanto to Daniels. And Daniels down on the ground. In the end, a free kick called as Daniels impeded in the moment. And things getting a little heated here in Peachtree City, Madison.
I mean, it's like we said before, it's the quarterfinal. You'll take a look at it here. Just trying to come forward, is able to clip it, and then there you go. You see it there. Just a little bit of extracurricular there as the whistle was blown. But that's what you get from a quarterfinal. That emotion's going to come. Current FC are trying to find their way forward. A couple of misplayed balls, some passes that haven't gone their way, just trying to make something.
And the free kick was a little wasted there by David Gattuso. I will say involved in that challenge was Caleb Daniels on the Soda City side. He's got to be careful. As much as that one was called in his favour, he is on that yellow card from earlier on in the game. Charging forward is Diaz. Diaz with a little drop of the shoulder. Great move by Diaz. Swirls in the cross, headed clear. It's cushioned down, well done by Wilson. And Wilson will have to start things through his defence now with Martin. Monsanto. Martin. And square pass all the way over to Weston DeSoto. Don't count out this current FC side. It was said by head coach George Trifos of Soda City that he does not underestimate anybody, and this was an opportunity for current FC to punish. Daniels. And all the way back to Kale Saunders. Saunders again. Daniels. And back to Kale Saunders. A little bit of a switch in the styles of play now as current FC getting plenty of touches now as Soda City defend organised.
And you mentioned head coach George Trifus for Soda City. You said not to underestimate any opponent, and that's very true. They also say don't feel any extra pressure as the national champions. Want to take it one game at a time. And that's really smart coming from Soda City, especially when you're up against a newcomer like Current FC and what they've been able to do, taking down Little Haiti and making it this far, especially being the 4th seed in the Florida Premier Division.
Underdogs. But with a little chip on their shoulder, the perfect combination for Current FC. Johnny Mendoza. Across to Nate Monsanto. And Branton Saunders loops across a ball. Gattuso called into defensive duties. So we're past the half-hour mark in the first half of play from Peachtree City, Georgia. Jessica Charmer, Madison Cruz, our entire crew, including, of course, Jason Longshaw on the sideline. Delighted to be here in Peachtree City, Georgia for the UPSL quarter-final match. So we see a look at the weather right now. 56 degrees. Quite lovely for January, but don't worry about that. The winter is coming and expecting, and I talk in Celsius, so -10 Celsius. I believe that's about 13 Fahrenheit coming in the next couple of days here in Georgia. As Mendoza charging down the throat of the field. Lays it wide. It's controlled by Moreno. And square to Martin. Martin again. Lays it off to Nate Diaz. Diaz blocked by some solid defending. But popping up on the left side is Martin now. Wilson. Thought he'd been fouled. Referee says play on. And Soda City again looking to find a way through. Great recovery defensively by Current FC.
It was Nate Monsanto just coming forward, able to win the ball back. And that's your head coach coming forward, making that challenge, winning it back for your side.
Talk about having players to lead by example, a big tackle, a big recovery. When it's your coach, that's another level of accountability to rise the rest of the squad to that work rate level.
It sets the standard. You know, you see your head coach getting out there and making those big plays and winning it back for you. It makes you a little bit more fired up, wants you to win it for him, get back into this one and create another big play of your own.
Monsanto pulling the strings in the heart of the pitch. Monsanto dinks this one forward, is searching for Izzy Daniels. Daniels doesn't quite have the legs to get there. We will go down to Jason Longshaw, who has another update on the Hakeem Martin injury and whatever else is on his mind. Jason Longshaw, we come to you.
So Hakeem Martin's going to check back into the game. The temporary
And it
substitution
appears we're having
can come back.
Having a little technical difficulty down there with Jason Longshaw, so we will rejoin him in a moment or so. It is a goal kick now. Soda City's keeper, Jacob Cotton, sends it long. There's a late slide tackle coming in. Referee says play on. Goalkeeper Union has me a little up in arms, but apparently not enough contact there on Owen Jack in goal. Jack is looking a little ginger there after that slide tackle, but his side will continue to play on. Big switch across to Nico Diaz. Diaz, drop of the shoulder, round one. Nico Diaz into the 18, goes himself just over the crossbar. So we get another look at that opportunity from Nico Diaz. Madison, he has a lot of quality in the locker.
So much quality. There's a reason he's their leading goal scorer. Just trying to take the shot himself. Just long range. We know what he can do on the ball. He's just so technical and able to try to get his side back into this one.
Seemed like a little bit of a mishap with the ball. May have gone over into the bushes, and therefore we have now found the backup ball. Jacob Cotton will take the goal kick, and that'll give us an opportunity to go back to Jason Longshore with his update on the sidelines.
So Hakeem Martin back into the game about 15 plus minutes out because he lost one of his front teeth. It was found and it has been secured for him, but also a lot of work to get blood to stop coming from his mouth. He wanted to continue. He was asked multiple times if he wanted to play consistently. He wanted back on the field for Soda City, and he's back in now. We'll see what he can do.
Wow, quite the update, Jason Longshore. Thank you very much. I think that $1 million smile, it may not be for Hakeem Martin, but he does have the assist on the game-leading goal. Definitely a positive, but we'll see how that tooth is looking in some post-game interviews.
Ooh, listen, I'm not a blood person at all. So hearing that was like, ooh. But, you know, I mean, it just shows what type of player Hakeem Martin is. Just the commitment and wanting to come back out here and wanting to finish it out with his team.
I will say that I'm very glad they found the tooth, because Peachtree City MOBA Soccer Club is home to the MOBA Minis, and there's a lot of 3- and 4-year-olds that come play on this turf. I don't think many people would like their child picking up the spare tooth, Madison.
No, I don't think they would either.
I say that, of course, as somebody that has a child that plays on this field. So glad to see Hakeem Martin reintroduced to his tooth. Of course, Hakeem Martin involved in the build-up and has the assist on the lone goal of this game, a 3rd-minute goal from Lamar Thompson that sees Soda City ahead. Martin chips it forward towards Salifu. Salifu, beautiful square pass. Thompson whiffs. Second strike comes in from McTutus. McTutus again. Gattuso. Gattuso winds up the strike. Beautiful save by Owen Jack. A flying save to tip that one over the crossbar.
I mean, what a strike. An absolute brilliant ball from Gattuso. And as you see here, it's on the rebound, able to reconnect with him, sees the opening opportunity, takes it with the left, and Owen Jack just able to outstretch completely and pushes it over the crossbar.
The footwork to be able to recover to that near post, remarkable, but now he will have to defend this in-swinging corner. Delivery will come in, it's looped towards the backside, the header just wide, coming in from TJ Paul.
TJ Paul, the local from Charlotte, North Carolina, takes the opportunity. As you'll see the corner, the in-swinger as it comes in, a beautiful ball right to Paul, and just wasn't able to place it right where he wanted it to, but it's great delivery from Soda City.
But Current FC will continue to believe that they can get back into this one, a 1-0 tight margin game. If they can get to the halftime break, Madison, in a 1-0 or plenty of time for a better result, they'll feel very good about the way they have performed in this quarterfinal first half of action.
Also, one thing that can be so dangerous about a lead like what Soda City has, you win it, you're already ahead, you're leading in the 3rd minute. You've been leading this time. Current FC has had opportunities to get back into this one, and it takes just one moment for Current FC to get back in and equalize, and then you're right back to square one, and it'll be interesting to see how the momentum does shift, and getting to halftime, how both of these teams decide to regroup.
Can never sit back on your heels in a 1-0 margin, because one moment changes everything. Western DeSoto will hope this moment is it. DeSoto pings it in, and grabbing that one just under his crossbar is Jacob Cotton in goal.
You see Hector Moreno, he put his hands up to his head, just like a bit more of just like an could have done a little bit. Excuse me, it's actually Weston DeSoto able to come in, tried to make the cross, put his hands up to his head. Could have done it a little bit better, was just a little bit upset with himself, but it's a great opportunity for Current FC.
You can just see them trying to exploit the flanks now. More wide play leading to positivity. But here's Soda City on the width. Brandon Saunders will start it back with Owen Jack in goal. Jack just launches it forwards. Cushioned down by Daniels. Daniels had a little pressure in his back, not enough to draw the foul. Soda City play on. Salifu. Square into the boots of Thompson. McTutus lays it across to Gattuso. Gattuso, 1v1. Trying to round the defender. Gattuso cutting round the opposite side. It's defended really nicely by DeSoto. Caleb Daniels. McTutus is cleared out for a Soda City throw-in. Just seeing TJ Paul Madison gesture. What do you think he's talking about there?
What I was reading from is just keep going, faster, keep it going. Just trying to get that build up and keep things going, because Soda City has the momentum, and just trying to make those quick passes to get into the box and hopefully find a second goal.
You mentioned earlier both sides perhaps taking a couple too many touches, and it feels like TJ Paul a little frustrated that they're not moving the ball quicker and cleaner.
And it's unfortunate too, because especially with the way the conditions are, with the weather, with playing on a turf, especially after you had a little bit of a rainstorm, it makes it a little bit tricky with how you're going to play the ball. Are you going to make that extra pass? Are you going to hold on to it and then try the crossover top? We've seen the ball skid a couple of times and have a little bit more energy and force, especially as you get those heavier passes that come in.
Weighted ball forward by Kale Saunders. Weston DeSoto cutting towards the middle, squares it to the edge of the 6, and it's an own goal. Niaza Tamini had no option but to send that one into his own net, and Current FC have the equalizer right before the halftime break. Weston DeSoto with a great individual effort and a dangerous delivery in. Niaza Tamini with the mark on the scoreline that no defender wants.
And just like that, it's equalized. I mean, that's how quickly this game can switch. And you see the delivery. Weston DeSoto has been working so hard on that left side, tries the passes. You see you had a couple of Current FC players coming in, and Tamini just unfortunately on the receiving end of that one.
And as you get a look at the replay, I don't think Niaza Tamini was under as much pressure as perhaps he had thought in that moment. Madison, for me as a goalkeeper, that screams lack of communication to the defender. Your thoughts?
I would agree with you. You know, you only had maybe 1 or 2 Current FC players making that run in there. And it's unfortunate as you see that you have a Cotton coming in. That's something he should have told Tamini to come around and be like, hey, I got it. It's right there. And it's unfortunate because now you're equalized 1-1.
But the fire has been lit under Soda City's bellies as they try and regain their lead. Important challenge away by Brandon Saunders, but ball stayed alive. Ping pong ball inside the 18. Thompson able to get away. Big save off of the legs of Owen Jack there. Unorthodox, but effective. Frantic, waning moments of the first half in the UPSL Southeastern Championship game. It's laid across to Gattuso. Gattuso to Martin. And all the way in to the defense of Niaza Tamini.
It's going to be interesting to see how Soda City can recover, especially after that own goal. Not only when you get an equalizer like that, it diminishes the momentum, but having it be an own goal, that's a little bit of a deflation for Soda City. Let's see how they recover and get back into this game. As of right now, they're doing a good job of keeping the momentum and trying things, and hopefully can create an opportunity here on this free kick.
Soda City have had a couple of opportunities from the dead ball. We'll see what they can whip up here right before the half-time whistle. We are across the regulation, 45 minutes. We'll see how much the referee decides to add. We're hearing 3 minutes. We are now seeing the fourth official raise the board with the number 3. So, plenty of time for more drama in this game as the ball is swung in. It's headed down, and on the back post, another big save. Flying down to his left-hand side was Owen Jack.
Owen Jack just so quick with the response. Was facing one way, saw where it was going, and just able to quickly run around to that left corner and just get that one hand out. As you'll see it here again, comes flying in, wide open, and just able to jump in and push it out of the way.
I think Theo Wickman might have wanted to make that one even harder of a save for Owen Jack from that range of distance, but a corner will suffice for Soda City here, and it will be whipped in as an in-swinger. Delivery played short to the edge of the box. The pop pass, a little bit more tougher to control than one would like. And now the counter-attack potentially on as Daniels is able to play it forwards. Ball running in is Weston DeSoto. DeSoto, heavy touch wide, and the goalkeeper comes down really well. In the end, Jacob Cotton comes quick off his line, closes down the angle, but a great glimpse at how quickly Current FC can charge forwards.
Very quickly, it was a dangerous play from Current FC. One-on-one, but Jacob Cotton with just great awareness and so much control and confidence to come out and just get a great stop on it. It deflects, loose ball in the box, but able just to come down on it and hold it.
Daniels tried to play it forward. Current FC with a spring in their step. They won't want that halftime whistle to come right now, as they have Soda City in some moments under a lot of pressure. Daniels, high press of Abraham Wilson. Couldn't quite pay off, but look at Wilson go. Wickman. The ball is knocked off of the boots of the Current FC defense and out for another Soda City throw.
Abraham Wilson just putting on the gas, just trying to track it down, put a lot of pressure on the defense to try and force a turnover. They'll get a throw in, but you see some of the hands of Soda City go up, because they know that's a lot of pressure and it stops the momentum.
We hadn't seen that vigorous pressure from Current FC, a good little adjustment that has flustered Soda City a tad bit in their defensive areas. Wilson. Covered by Soda City. It's TJ Paul. And Paul will lay it wide to Wickman. Wickman hoops that ball into the air. It's headed clear by DeSoto. Eventually, Daniels will just volley this one up the pitch. And that'll do it for the first 45 minutes of action in the UPSL quarterfinals. It was a dream start for the reigning champions, Soda City, getting on the scoreboard in just the 3rd minute off a Lamar Thompson goal. But as well as they started, as poorly as they were able to finish, in a moment of madness, Niaza Tamini drives it into his own goal. 1-1 the halftime score. Madison Cruz, your thoughts?
I mean, you saw Soda City have all of the momentum, had all of the control in the beginning of the first half. And then Current FC slowly working their way, just building on that momentum and building that chemistry, because that can happen in the first half, and then able to connect. And then it's the own goal from Tamini, able to make it 1-1. And that's what I was telling you earlier. All it takes is one moment, and now this game is completely changed as we head into the second half.
Completely changed and fascinating of a spectacle. Someone that has been on the sidelines living the action is our partner on the sideline, Jason Longshore. Jason, let's go down to pitch side and get your educated takes on the first half.
Yeah, a little bit different vantage point for me today, and I've gotten my money's worth, just like the trainer here on site has earned his paycheck today. Did not expect to see someone's tooth being held up for everyone to see and trying to find something to put it in so it could hopefully be reinserted into Heike Martin's mouth at a dentist after the match. But as you guys have said, Heike Martin has been a big part of this team. And I think what has really struck me about these two teams today is this game's being played at a really high level with a ton of composure. Soda City got the early goal. Current got settled in. They handled things fine. Soda City had to deal with one of their top players trying to get back into the game, get blood stopped, figure out if he could play. They were able to manage that okay. Tactically, it's going to be fascinating in the second 45 because Current have found Soda City's weakness. It's out wide in their shape. There is space out wide. The wingbacks aren't really dropping to make a line of 5. It's 3 center backs who have to flare out. They're struggling with that at times. That's what led to the equalizer. Be really curious to see what both teams try to do differently in the second 45. Back to you guys.
Well, Jason Longshore, thank you so much for your time. We'll hear plenty more from Voice of Atlanta United, Jason Longshore, in the second half of play. For now, we're going to step aside. Second half still around the corner. Thank you so much for joining us in the UPSL Southeast Conference Final. Halftime score, Soda City FC 1, Current FC 1. Welcome back to the UPSL National Playoffs quarter-finals that also serve as the Southeast Region Championship game. 1-1 through the half-time. Very little to separate Soda City FC and Current FC. Jessica Charman, Madison Cruz, Jason Longshore on the sideline, and our entire crew at ASMG welcome you into our broadcast of this game. Madison, it was a very interesting first 45. Of course, Soda City, the reigning UPSL national champions, got things started quickly in the 3rd minute through Lamar Thompson. But Current FC, in their first year as a club, with a valiant effort to fight back and gain the equalizer through an own goal in the 43rd.
You saw Current FC really grow into the game, and it's hard when you give up a goal that early on in a match. It can kind of deflate you a little bit. You go into it having these expectations and get ready to go, but then all of a sudden you give up a goal in the 3rd minute, and then you have to regroup again and then try to win that momentum back. And Current FC was able to do that, had a lot of really great opportunities, was able to capitalize, and through an own goal they're able to equalize. But Soda City also had their fair share of obstacles to overcome. As we know, Martin did have to come off due to losing a tooth on the field. He's actually going to continue the game, and he's going to be someone to watch out for and watch as Soda City tries to come back in and secure the lead once again.
Reminder that FIFA rules apply if this game is locked in a draw past 90 minutes to 15 minutes of extra time, followed by a penalty shootout, would be necessary to crown the Southeast Region champion and find out one of the 4 sides that will face in the UPSL semi-finals. So a lot on the line here in Peachtree City, Georgia, as we see it's Current FC standing over the ball right now in those dark blue uniforms. Soda City FC still in their huddle in the light blue. Interesting to see the two styles very different in the way that they're approaching, getting ready for the second half of action. 14 Celsius. Very much like to see and understand what that temperature is. So a rather lovely day in Georgia right now for this game. We are underway, 45 minutes remaining in the UPSL quarterfinals, as it is Current FC with a direct ball forwards and a spring in their step right now with Daniels. Daniels gets charged in, and then a bit of a bear hug from Hakeem Martin. And Moreno will chase this one down into the corner. A cheeky little back heel finds Mendoza. Mendoza with the give and go, as his touch a little bit too heavy. It's swiped clear out the back for Current FC.
Izzy Daniels, just with the footwork really early on, able, just fully charged in with so many players.
Frantic pace as driving forward is Gattuso. A little stutter step as the ball is squared. It's across now to Salifu, and Salifu takes 2 to be blocked away. A combination of the defender and Owen Jack, able to see this one out for a corner. But if the first half got off to a quick start, this one is rather frantic.
As you see Soda City, it starts with Salifu making the run as he comes in, goes back to another Soda City player, then connects back heel to find Salifu again, and the ball deflects right off of Owen Jack's face as you see him as he's hunched down a little bit. Probably got the wind taken out of him from that save, as it will be a corner for Soda City.
Gotta do what you've got to do as a goalkeeper. We talk about body on the line. I think Owen Jack may have really taken that definition to the maximum, as he's looking at his eye right now, and I wonder if it's just caused a bit of a issue with his vision in this moment. So we'll take the moment with Owen Jack getting seen to by the physiotherapy to go down to Jason Longshore. Why not Jason on the spot? It's been a quick start to the second half of action. What have you seen from both these sides across literally the first 2 minutes of the second half of play?
I think he caught it off the face, maybe off the side of the face. They're checking him out because of the possible head injury. I think he's going to be okay, but this could possibly be player coming off the bench. Maybe a contact lens issue as well. So here's the interesting thing as I toss it back up to you guys. You know, you have the halftime break. You're getting colder in that moment. You come back out. It's a house of fire for the first 2 minutes. Now you have another stoppage. I'll be really curious to see how both teams handle this stoppage because since it's a goalkeeper, they're going to make sure and take their time that he's okay.
Great point, Jason Longshore. And I'll toss that thought process to you, Madison Cruz. When you're in a scenario that you're up, you're ready, you're raring to go, and all of a sudden you have to slow back down, how difficult is that as a player, and which team might that favor in terms of leadership on the pitch?
It's difficult, you know? You build the momentum, as we saw right at the beginning of the first whistle for the second half. Current FC was really quick with it, was getting the momentum. Then you saw Soda City take it the next way. They're waiting to take the corner kick. As you see, one of the players just hanging off of the flag that's right there at the edge, just kind of waiting for play to start again. It'll be interesting. I think I'm leaning more towards Current FC because they've been able to come out of it before. They've been able to come back in with this momentum and are able to get back in as Owen Jack is up and ready to go.
I'm going to say a very obscure reference. You might get it, but it looked like a bit of a she's the man moment.
Yep.
I think he may have a nosebleed and something may have been inserted into the nostril. I will allow that for the pop culture reference. Anyone that has watched She's the Man, and all good soccer fans should have, I believe that he may have had a She's the Man moment.
She's the Man. Great movie. And one thing I do want to point out about Owen Jack, since we are speaking about him, one thing that's so interesting, too, he was at Vermont, won a national championship with them this past season, signed a professional contract with Birmingham Legion, and made his debut in 2024. So a lot of experience in that back line, especially in between the post for Current FC.
Will be a corner kick coming for Soda City. Very important for Current FC that they're able to regain their mics and maintain their focus after that very long stoppage. Expect to see Owen Jack tested potentially here. You do notice Soda City have a player stood right in front of the 4-year Stetson starter. Ball come in from Salifu. Salifu drives that one towards the back. Owen Jack came. Did he get a touch? It did look like he may have flapped it away for a second corner.
Might have been just right off the fingertips as it comes off, and it will be another corner for Soda City.
TJ Paul heads over to the corner flag for an in-swinger from the opposite flank now. The pressure on top of Owen Jack has now been released. Paul hangs this one shorter as it's cleared away on the volley by Nico Diaz. Put back into the mixer by a looping pass, and it will be an opportunity for Current FC. Charging forward now, Izzy Daniels. Daniels trying to part the waves of this Soda City back line. Daniels can't get past the challenge of TJ Paul. That's a great work rate from the corner kick taker to recover.
Able to come all the way back and stop Izzy Daniels. Izzy Daniels, a lot of the momentum for Current has been through him and just getting in those right opportunities and skipping past defenders to try and create something.
Didn't see as much of Izzy Daniels in those moments, being brave, getting forward in the first half, and it's very clear that Current FC look far more dangerous with him taking those confident attacking touches forwards. TJ Paul sits back into the defensive line with Niaza Tamini. Tamini, who needed to have the goldfish memory, recovering from conceding the own goal. As we know, a lot goes into own goals, and as much as he was the player with the final touch, more than one guilty party in a moment like that. Gattuso able to beat down the defender, but beat him down he did, and the referee blows his whistle.
You saw a little bit, there's a little bit of a pull that brought that Current FC player down. Gattuso was trying to win it back. You saw there was a bit of shielding, trying to keep it away. As we watch the build-up play once again, it's great work to bring it up on the right side, able to connect, but you see running forward, Current FC just able to step in front of him, trying to win it, and you'll see that grab as it comes in.
Just a little overzealous in the challenge. The physicality of this game is to be expected in a match of such an important moment. Of course, the winner of this game books their ticket to the UPSL semi-final game. Soda City, the reigning champions. No side in UPSL has ever become the national champion back-to-back. So unmatched territory, but Current FC certainly looking to spoil the party and bet on the underdog in their first year as a club. Remarkable work from the side from New Smyrna Beach. As a foul is called, referee, great positioning there. Nico Diaz had gone down to ground. Wind certainly picking up as we feel a little breeze up here in the booth. Be interesting to see how as the temperature drops and the wind swirls a little bit more in Peachtree City, if that will have an impact on the condition of play. Heath Martin. Wide to Izzy Daniels. Daniels, step over, breaking through. Daniels continuing to go forwards and physical defending from TJ Paul as he shields it out for the goal kick.
It's great work from TJ Paul. Sees that Izzy Daniels is making that run and how quick he has been. You see just a little bit too much power on that extra pass as Daniels is coming forward, and Paul's just able to step right in front of it and shield it all the way out.
So it's headed clear away from Cale Saunders. Saunders, one of the two Saunders brothers in the back line, Cale and Branton. Cale Saunders was tasked with marking Lamar Thompson for the majority of the first half of play and did a stellar job in that difficult job. Saunders sends it forwards. It's looped up into the boots of Mendoza. Mendoza, 360 spin. It's toe poked away from him. McTutus. Mendoza did stay down a little bit behind the play. He is up to his feet and charging forward to try and win back that possession. He does enough to earn the throw. Long ball forwards. Flicked on by Moreno. Little nutmeg pass into Mendoza. Mendoza finds a charging forward Heath Martin. Martin picks his head up. Bit too low of a cross. Should be cleared away as a shot from distance comes sizzling off the boots of Nate Monsanto and into the hands of Jacob Cotton.
Why not take the opportunity? You get the momentum. You get the charge to run forward. Takes a shot for Current FC as Current FC is going to continue to try and press a lot more in this second half and trying to get forward. Thank you to Jason Longshore doing great reporting down below. Also said that wants Nico Diaz to kind of stay closer to the wide as possible.
Paul put it forward to Salifu. Salifu winding through traffic on the 18, takes a pop, quick strike coming off the boots of Martin. Second bite at the apple is deflected into the hands of Owen Jack. Jack bowls it out quickly, good vision from the goalkeeper, and then unable to connect were Mendoza and Daniels. McTutus. Ball is lofted, headed away by Saunders. And Mendoza will have a little space. Forward to Daniels. Settling is Nate Monsanto. Soda City looking to break through Salifu. Salifu, was his pass timed well? It was. The shot is blocked off of the hands of the goalkeeper. Took a reverse deflection. It's out for a goal kick according to our center referee.
That's that experience from Owen Jack. So watch the build-up play once again. Salifu, just a great one-touch, one-on-one. Owen Jack comes forward with the right foot. It deflects, and then it deflects right off of Soda City. It's great work from Owen Jack to win the ball again as it's a goal kick for Current FC.
Referee overruled the AR on the goal kick, which you will see when they're in better position. So well handled by our referee crew for the day. As Moreno was able to control it down at the second opportunity. Martin, his pass a little wayward. Almost allowed Salifu to recover. And it is Soda City looking to punish. Just feeling the vibe that current FC Madison are feeling so much more confident in the second half of play. Almost like the imposter syndrome is over as they try the long ball forward. It's controlled down. They believe they belong here, and that's such an important thing for this current FC side to feel.
They've grown into this game. They've been able to grow. They've overcome a lot of those obstacles. Going down a goal in the 3rd minute and now being able to equalize, it gives them that extra spark that you need, especially heading into the second half, trying to close it out. Or, depending on where we go, just try to stop Soda City from finding another goal to make it 2-1.
Ball is looped forward. It's chested down. And it's sliced away out the back by current FC. A deflection off of the boots of current FC sees a corner kick again for Soda City. Did see a little bit of displeasure from the current FC back line about the nature of a challenge. We'll take a look at the replay here.
They're actually calling for a handball on Soda City. As it comes in, you'll watch it. They're looking to see if it bounced, hit his arm, and then was able to play it.
Looked a little suspicious in the replay. However, as we know, no VAR right now. Joshua Manrufo, the referee, decided to allow this one to continue as a corner kick. Heading towards the hour mark here in the UPSL Southeastern Region final, serving as a quarterfinal, of course, for the national tournament as well. Jessica Charman, Madison Cruz, our entire crew, delighted to be here as we prepare for the in-swinger coming from TJ Paul. Paul hangs that one and just over everybody, not the kind of service that TJ Paul prides himself in. Some arguments from the bench in Spanish. Luckily, I do understand as there were cries that Caleb Daniels is on a yellow card and went in for a bit of a dangerous tackle. I remember making a comment as we get a look at this run from Daniels. He's on a yellow card. He's gone in for a couple of those under a caution. Madison, your thoughts?
You see, he goes in with the extra speed trying to win the ball, but then as the ball's rolling out of play, he just runs right into the back.
Risky business from Caleb Daniels, the Anderson University product. I would certainly throw a spanner in the works of Soda City's attempt for a repeat of the national championship, as the throw-in is taken in by Wickman. Seeing a lot of frustration in the body language of Soda City right now. This time it was Hakeem Martin just gesturing at his side, demanding more movement ahead. Controlled down by Tamini. And Tiamini looking to spread the field, unable to find Carlos Sarepa.
You see Branton Sanders getting the crowd hype and ready to go for Current FC. A lot of Current FC supporters here in the crowd today made the travel to come up and support their team as they look to try to get into the semifinals. You love to see it from your captain.
It's all about playing up the crowd, and when you're far away from home, utilize whatever advantage you may be able to find. I'm seeing subs on the touchline, so interesting to see who the changes coming into the action are. Some appeals for a handball from Current FC are waved away by Joshua Manrupo, the referee. There's a physical challenge in the middle of the park. Ball falls to Current FC.
Current FC just trying to build something here. They're under a little pressure. We're able to get out of it as the ball goes right up to Nico Diaz on the left.
Diaz trying to get round the defense again, does so. Laser, perfectly square pass as a strike from distance. It's a beautiful connection by Johnny Mendoza, but just drags it wide of the pitch. It will see us an opportunity as we get a look at the replay to see just how close that is for Mendoza.
We've seen this connection before. A great ball. Nico Diaz points out Johnny Mendoza, and it's a great work, wide open opportunity. just plays it a little bit wide of the goal. But we've seen that connection before, and it's great that we're finally seeing Nico Diaz and Johnny Mendoza connect a little bit more.
I'm not sure if head coach for Soda City, George Trifos, has been listening to our commentary, but he has made a very good decision to take off Caleb Daniels, who is playing with some fire on that yellow card. He'll be replaced by Michael Sokolik in the back line. Very good game management from the bench of Soda City FC, not to leave themselves in hot water with Caleb Daniels. As going down to ground was Soda City. Good job done there to stay on his feet. As winding through traffic, and a cross is blocked away by the boots of Kale Saunders. Ball still in play through McTutus. McTutus trying to round the defense of Wilson, but Wilson calmly lays it back to his defender. Branton Saunders slices it a bit.
He knows it too. He looked at himself and he knew exactly what he did, but we see him now gesture into the crowd a little bit.
Cries of "Let's go Soda" coming from the bench now. I think Brandon Saunders might not have liked the jeers that came after a bit of a whiff, as we'll describe it. As Soda City throw in this ball now. The long throw headed away by Kale Saunders. Soda City, though, quickest to respond to the loose ball. It's well done. Over to Cepeda. Cepeda can't round the defense of Wilson. And yet again, Branton Saunders with a moment that he would rather not be on his highlight reel.
You see him, he's telling the crowd to keep it up, to keep it coming. A lot of players feed off of that energy, and Branton Saunders, I think he's loving the atmosphere right now.
A long throw and comes in again. This time Saunders meets it well. The flick further afield by Daniels. There's a beautiful piece of footwork by Wickman. Wickman will swing in this cross. Gets underneath it, but able to find his intended target. One-time pass in, quick off his line. Owen Jack to neutralize any threat on the cross. Current FC trying to change the tides of their fortune with a big switch across. Izzy Daniels cushions it down tidily. Daniels, awkward deflection, gets on it again. Izzy Daniels winds through one, resets the ball. Moreno. Cross is blocked away, and a one-on-one battle is won by the defense of Branton Saunders. McTutus. A foot race is won by Kale Saunders. Saunders caught a little late there by Ralph Salifu. The AR far side calls the foul, and a substitution, in fact, coming in now for Current FC. It's Adam Berenhau coming in to play for Current FC. We'll see how Berenhau, or Benrahu, sorry, fits in to Current FC's style of play. Benrahu has slotted in on the right-hand side, and here he is, Adam Benrahu. Benrahu to the touchline and earns a corner. Not a bad impact from Adam Benrahu straight off of the bench.
Off of the bench, trying to make something happen for Current FC. He's actually the second leading goal scorer for Current FC, right behind Nico Diaz. Adding him to the mix, it allows a little bit more room to breathe, gives a little bit more opportunity, especially people up top who can create some magic and hopefully find a second goal.
I think it also shows the mindset of Current FC right now. Nate Monsanto sitting a little deeper than we've seen, but knows that he's got firepower on the bench and kind of sees that this Soda City side is for the taking if Current FC can turn the gears further. Be Johnny Mendoza serving this one out, swinging Mendoza towards a penalty spot. It's a delightful ball in. And Benrahu will try and attack down the opposite side now. Good ball in, a little too close to the hands of Jacob Cotton, who smothers and then finds a path into Hector Moreno. Moreno did enough to slow down the goalkeeper's quick distribution.
You do what you can in those moments, especially when you know that Soda City is hungry to try to get forward and is trying to create something on the offense. Slowing it down a little bit allows for your guys to get back, get ready, get situated to defend. It slows down the momentum as well.
It's good soccer IQ, but as a goalkeeper, you hate it. Goalkeeper Union needs a little representation in this conversation, Madison Cruz.
I got one of the best ones right next to me, so it's perfect.
A little rusty nowadays, but once upon a time on these very fields, actually. Nico Diaz trying to spin, got caught under a lot of pressure, was able to find possession though, and he'll take the throw in fast. Looking for Moreno. Hector Moreno able to cushion this one down, pinned in the corner. What can Moreno do? Moreno knocks it back to Diaz. Diaz drives in the shot. He's arguing it took a deflection. Referee says no.
I mean, quick throw-in, tries to connect, is able to find Moreno. Moreno's able to hold it down under a lot of pressure, picks out Diaz, and then just launches it. Why not try it? Especially with that angle. Nico Diaz has done that so many times for Current FC this season, has been a huge playmaker.
Under hit pass is controlled by Branton Saunders. It's Benrahu. Benrahu. Inside to Monsanto. Benrahu. Recycles. And an early cross. Too close. There's a physical challenge on the edge of the box. Are coming together. Whistle blown against Nate Monsanto. And a free kick awarded in favor of Soda City.
It's one of those that it's 50-50 a little bit. You have Current FC going in for the ball, and it's just that late collision, just trying to both win it. And then the defender is just caught in the way.
Good to see the energy coming, though, from the high press of Nate Monsanto. Again, leading by example, the head coach on the field, the player coach. Gotta love a good player coach. Wayne Rooney with DC United. It's always a fascinating one to see in MLS. Never forget the goal he scored in that role as Diaz. To Heath Martin. And all the way back towards Saunders. Mendoza. He's driving forward. Our Current FC into the box now for De Soto. It's cleared away by Soda City. De Soto, haven't heard too much from him in this second half of action, but a player that was a huge role in the equalizing goal for Current FC, getting a moment to shine.
And a great moment it was, just trying to pick out someone, but Theo Wichman able to come in and clear it for Soda City. As Current FC will get a throw in here, it's interesting to see Current FC in the way that they strategize. I just saw that Nico Diaz pointing to his fellow teammate on the side, trying to tell him to cut in, especially with how it's run, player-run club. How many of them actually have an input, and it's more of a communicative type thing instead of just having someone be labeled as the head coach? They all have an opportunity to contribute.
Dangerous moment as Nate Monsanto trying to keep up with the fast pace of Thompson. In the end, does enough to recover defensively. So interesting, this Soda City side, because they just have the ability to break so quickly, and with Current FC being brave, attacking forward, going for opportunities, you have to wonder if the Achilles heel might be the quick counter of Soda City.
We saw Soda City early on in the first half. Once they had the goal, they took more of their time with possession. It was more one touch, building out from the back, but now, since it's equalized, it's a little bit more frantic, and maybe that's one thing Soda City needs to do, is calm it down a little bit.
Long throw-in into the box is controlled, and a strike from distance dragged wide off of the mark from TJ Paul. Will be Lamar Thompson taking a bow right now as he's coming off the pitch. He'll be replaced by number 10, Winston Johnson. So more firepower coming off of the bench. Johnson a USC Aiken player in the Peach Belt Conference. 5 goals in UPSL this season. Not a bad asset to bring out of the pitch.
And that's the one thing that's so dangerous about this Soda City side is they have so many players who can come off the bench and make a huge difference. You have Salifu, you have Thompson, but then you have players that can come off the bench and have a huge impact. Having 9 goals in UPSL this season, that's huge.
So deflection goes out of play. Throw-in will be awarded. But Current just trying to take it a little too far up a field. Heath Martin trying to steal every yard possible. As his side look to try and get a breakthrough. Just over 15 minutes remaining in regulation. Salifu was able to keep it in according to the AR, but a high press results in Izzy Daniels driving forward. Daniels, was he caught from behind? Yes, he was. And we'll see a yellow card as well flashed in the direction of Soda City. Great run forward there by Izzy Daniels.
Izzy Daniels is able to speed right past him. Deflects there, a bit of a heavier touch. As you see, it's loose. Current FC able to connect to Izzy Daniels. Daniels making the run, comes right on him, and you see it's that foot that extends a little bit too long for your liking as it trips up Daniels, and a great free kick position for Current FC.
And the yellow card flashed to JC McTutus. It's a really interesting free kick. Just based on the body language right now, it looks like Hector Moreno might go for goal here. Rather far away, but if you've got it, why not go for it? Moreno stands over it. Moreno goes for goal and buries it! Hector Moreno says, why not? And answers the question with venom. It's Current FC with the lead.
You said it before, why not try it? Hector Moreno gets set, you see him thinking about it, launches with the left foot and sneaks right past Cotton. A brilliant and outstanding goal to put Current FC ahead to make it 2-1.
JC McTutus will get subbed off after committing the foul that led to the goal. He'll be replaced by Jose Flores, who we saw momentarily in the first half as a concussion substitution. Let's go down to the field to Jason Longshaw, who had probably the most excited view in the house and got to hear the bench roar for Current FC. Jason, your thoughts on that free kick from Moreno?
I'll go back to before the free kick. What was fascinating is right after the foul, TJ Paul was yelling at his bench, asking for more help in that midfield. That was the sub they just made, but it was one play too late. I'll be curious to see if Soda City gets out of their 4-back setup and tries to get more numbers forward again here.
It's going to be really interesting to see the tactical shift for Soda City as they chase this game now. It's De Soto into Moreno. Square pass to Benrahu. Benrahu goes for goal, fizzes off the hands of Jacob Cotton, who's looking a little flustered after conceding. Long shot from Daniels. Great save, bobbles around. Moreno is offside. Hector Moreno thought he had a brace in a matter of moments. The AR says, not today, my friend.
Back and forth. Izzy Daniels tries the shot. It deflects off of Cotton. Moreno tries it again, but you do see he's in that offside position as the ball does come out of Cotton's hands.
Soda City FC, a side that came in unbeaten, 11-0-1 across the UPSL season, finding themselves in a spot of bother. The clock moving all too quickly for the side from Columbia, South Carolina right now. Current FC dream big, and so far they're in a wonderful position.
And even though that goal was ruled offside, that gives them great confidence, especially knowing that you can have that playmaker like Hector Moreno as he comes in, is able to try and find the equalizer, gives them that opportunity as it will be a yellow shown to Izzy Daniels.
Izzy Daniels with a silly yellow card there for kicking the ball away after the free kick was given. Not a smart decision from a player that is really shone in many aspects of the on-field action so far this afternoon. Girl, it was 1-1 at halftime, honey.
No, but they ruled it offside.
Baby, they scored the free kick.
It's
Darling,
oh
not
my
that
God,
one.
yes. I'm so sorry.
Long searching ball forwards as the header flicked forwards and out for a goal kick. Have to imagine time management may start to play a role as we see Owen Jack saunter towards the corner flag and in fact start taking a walk as we see another Soda City move from the bench. Carlos Cepeda coming off of the pitch. He will be replaced by Gabriel Hugo Gurango. Guadagno, a former Lander Bearcat, another Peach Belt Conference product, coming on to the field as Soda City looking to reorganize, and they understand time is of the essence.
Gotta find an equalizing goal here. That is the forefront of Soda City's mind. It doesn't matter how you do it. You just gotta find an equalizer to stay in it and keep your hopes alive of going back to the national championship, trying to defend your honor.
No team has ever done it. There has never been a back-to-back national champion in UPSL history. So much of that is because of what a tough league it is, of course, to make your way through. But right now, Current FC looking for what on paper can be considered an upset. Moreno, good work, but he stayed down hurt. His side still have possession. Moreno down on the ground, clutching the ankle as Izzy Daniels toying with this Soda City side. Daniels lays it back. Bit of a hospital pass into Monsanto, but he does enough to get it back to Daniels. Daniels just manhandled that one. Looked more like a rugby tackle than anything. And you just see Izzy Daniels walking away with a little chuckle. That mental duel right now going in favor of the Current FC star.
Johnson just comes in and you said it best, completely just manhandles Izzy Daniels. Izzy Daniels has done so well of just being able to slip into the pocket and is able to pick out those moments, those quick passes, and is able just to be so speedy going forward.
A poor giveaway, though, out the back by Branton Saunders, allowing an opportunity to stretch forwards for Soda City. Big slide tackle by Weston DeSoto. And Soda City with a deep attacking throw in now.
That was well timed by Weston DeSoto. Just knows exactly where it's going to go, clears it, and stops the momentum from Soda City.
Wickman will throw it long in towards the front post. It's headed clear, only as far as TJ Paul. Paul. And into the back line now for Hugo Gudango. Monsanto volleys it long and forward. The target was Nico Diaz, who's able to earn the free kick.
Looked like it was a handball off of Soda City. It'll be an opportunity for Current FC to once again drain the clock a little bit, get an opportunity to get into their attacking half.
Big switch. It's headed out of play by Soda City, which will allow a few more seconds to be ticked off the clock for Current FC, who are in absolutely no rush at all, and completely understandable considering the position they are in right now. Under 9 minutes away from a berth to the semi-finals of the UPSL National Championship game. A little bit of a give and go between Soda City. It's nice play, but Salifu can't break through the challenge. A free kick resorts. A foul out of frustration as Johnny Mendoza looked to get back to recover. Sees a dangerous opportunity for Soda FC to get a ball into the box from the pursuing free kick.
Free kick earned by Hakeem Martin. As he comes away, one thing that Jason Longshore pointed out to us is has a mouthful of gauze trying to hold everything, as obviously you mentioned beforehand what happened in the first half. Losing a tooth goes down a little hard, but Soda City, free kick opportunity here, trying to create something and equalize.
Theo Wickman, tasked with the duty of serving in a dime. Wickman goes for goal, straight into the hands of Owen Jack. Jack, very confident, plenty of experience, demonstrates all the focus in the world as he watches that one straight into his chest.
Good awareness, just going to push everyone forward.
Jack sends it forwards. Headed clear, though, back where it came from by Soda City. Cries of switch from the fan base of Soda City FC right now, who are feeling a little nervous. Finger-biting moments for the side from Columbia, South Carolina. They know that they need something drastic to keep their season alive. Jose Flores back to TJ Paul. Paul to the near side now. As a cross is driven in, it's flicked away and tucked in at the back post. Soda City have a lifeline. Ralph Salifu telling his players to run and celebrate with the fans, as Ralph Salifu is able to meet the ball at the back post. Branton Saunders getting teased by Salifu. It was Saunders that couldn't get a clearance on it. And it's the stuff of nightmares for Current FC, but Soda City stay alive.
Has been really silent in this second half, hasn't done much with the ball, but it's Ralph Salifu able to capitalize just one small touch and is able to knock it in. And just like that, it's 2-2, a little bit of extracurriculars as he was dancing a little bit of taunting for Current FC. Interesting to see how both teams respond to this as it's now equalized.
You mentioned it. Branton Saunders was certainly playing into the emotion, and sometimes you got to take it as good as you give it, right? As now the wind in the sails of Soda City. They'll go down to ground as Cale Saunders clears this one away. This game got fascinating in one blow at the back post by Ralph Salifu. Johnny Mendoza checks his shoulders, has space to drive. Lays it across in to Benrahu. Benrahu into the 18, heavy touch away. It's a goal kick, and we'll head down to the touchline with Jason Longshore. Goodness gracious, how hot are things on the sidelines right now, Jason?
Lots and lots of yelling from both sides, to my left, to my right. It's been fascinating because Soda City had lost the tactical battle. They went to a line of 4. It didn't work. They conceded. They've really just had to throw the pieces around, trying to find a combination. I think they have with Martin and with Salifu centrally. Both teams have made a defensive mistake, and both teams have been punished today.
A game of fine margins, the beautiful game, but has the power to break hearts. And right now, it's Current FC hearts that are broken. A matter of minutes away from that national semi-final, and now being faced eye to eye with the possibility of having to go to extra time against the reigning national champions. Soda City readying another sub at the next opportunity. Moses Akinade, as this one is chipped in towards the back post. Good goalkeeping from Jacob Cotton, who bowls it out right away. Soda City feeling more confident now, they believe. Team that's not afraid to fight, and they will fight through Salifu. Salifu has a whiff of a shot. Just not the strike that Winston Johnson was looking for.
The roar of of the fans. One thing, give credit to both sides. Both sides came out. You got Soda City fans traveling all the way from the Carolinas. You also have Current FC coming all the way from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. It's been fun having both sides of them down below us, cheering on both of their teams.
Definitely makes for a fun atmosphere on a neutral site venue. One of the concerns sometimes when you're playing so far away from both sides is you might not have the atmosphere, but we certainly haven't been disappointed today. Looked like Moses Akinade was getting ready to come into the field. The board is being held. Didn't look like they wanted to make the sub on a defensive play since there is a resulting free kick, and the referee has in fact halted it to not allow the sub to come in this moment. Well, they are now appearing to make the sub. Excuse me. Akinade will come in to the action. He replaces David Gattuso.
David Gattuso, who had a great game for Soda City. Just what he was able to do, just bringing in some fresh legs.
Delivery into the box, and unable to make the final touch at the back stick was Cale Saunders. Saunders not too far away from a little toe poke at the back post. Let's take a look at just how close this one was.
Mendoza, just a great delivery. As you see it, Saunders just tried to get the one touch, and it's wide open on that left side. It goes right off, though, and it'll be Jake Cotton delivering a goal kick for Soda City.
Cotton launches it high and long. It's headed straight back in the direction of Moreno. Moreno can't get there ahead of the defense as TJ Paul volleys it forward. Chasing this one down is the fresh legs of Akinade. Akinade can't get there, but just in the ability of Soda City with a far larger bench than Current FC to make those adjustments and bring on many fresh legs. We'll see how that gives Soda City potentially an advantage in overtime, which right now is looking to transpire. Reminder, it is FIFA rules, so it would be two 15-minute halves rather, followed by penalties. So we see 4 minutes on the board for additional time. So 4 minutes between us and that overtime that we talked about. So we look to find out which of these two sides will book their ticket to California and the UPSL semi-finals. Threaded pass forward, Soda City. Squared in to Salifu. Salifu touches it forward. The flag is raised against Akinade. And Ralph Salifu, who, as you so rightly mentioned, Madison Cruz, was basically hidden in the majority of this second half, has started to shine, has the equalizer, and now popping up in dangerous areas of the pitch.
It's interesting because you watch him against that match back at home against Kalanji Pro Profile, had a hat trick there, and coming into this one was a little bit silent. We saw him be very active in the first half. As the second half started, you didn't see him pop up anywhere, and then just one moment, he's able to touch it into the back of the net. Now he's all over the place.
Yet another free kick, though, for Current FC. They've had plenty of opportunities to whip deliveries in. It's Johnny Mendoza yet again tasked with this service. Asking for movement ahead of him. Mendoza drives this one in. It's flicked off at the head of Soda City last, and a second header forward keeps the ball alive. It's back-headed by Saunders towards his brother. It's cleaned up. Importantly done by Monsanto, but no foul is given. No foul there. Charging forward, Jose Flores. Flores has options inside. What a recovery back that is from Current FC to prevent the square ball into Akinade, who was fairly open at the edge of the 18.
Heath Martin making the run. 1v1 at first, just able to step right in front to stop any buildup. And it's great work to clear it. Owen Jack coming in, able to keep it in, and is able to bring it back that way.
The engine on Heath Martin, the endurance. He has been back to front on this field all day long, box to box, and still has the burst in him to fight for that possession. As Akinade heads that one forward, Kel Saunders put under a little bit of pressure. And Martin again, just trying to send it forward. Akinade goes for goal. Not sure how much he meant that as he gives the apologetic hand over to the fans. And it's out for a goal kick. About 1.5 minutes remaining in the additional 4 minutes that our referee signaled. Right now set to have 30 more minutes. As the whistle is blown. Hector Moreno down on the ground after that challenge. Might be a case of cramp. Good to see the camaraderie between these two sides as Soda City offering some help to Hector Moreno, who had the game-leading goal for a wonderful free kick, but he's been pegged back off of the Ralph Salifu 85th minute goal, Madison Cruz.
It's interesting, especially with that camaraderie you see helping each other out. You know, it can get very emotional in games like this, but you know, you got to respect it. Both of these sides have done a brilliant job this season, making it this far. That's a testament to what both of these sides, the coaching staff, the whole club have been able to do. And it's a competitive game. Both of these sides, you know, they're hungry for it. You have Soda City coming into this wanting to be the first ever back-to-back national champions. You have Current FC wanting to make their mark and make their stamp in their first year in the Premier Division. They're trying to come in and make a mark for themselves. And it's what we mentioned before, this David versus Goliath, but you're slowly starting it to be a little bit more than just a David versus Goliath.
I will say, what a difference it is playing these sorts of matches in the winter versus the games that were in August. I think the players will be very relieved that we're at 14 Celsius, about 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now versus the 100 plus that we may have seen in some of the games we called during the summer.
Ooh, very happy. I would much prefer it to be cold than for it to be extremely hot, which in the summer here in Georgia, it can get really hot.
Did want to give a shout out to everybody watching on the live stream, of course. Glad you're with us on the UPSL website. I have had a little glance at the comments section, and there's definitely some banter going back and forth between these two fan bases. I'm not going to call it a rivalry, but depending on how extra time goes, Madison, it may become something. I think we're seeing a match of energy between the fans and their arguments here in Peachtree City, MOBA, and on the chat as well. So good to see the passion of these fan bases. UPSL definitely attracting some of the most passionate fans out there.
It makes it interesting. I bring it up because the same thing happened with Soda City and KSA when they played as well. They played last year, and then they played again, and Soda City knocked them out both times. That's formed into a little bit of a small rivalry, and now you're seeing the first seeds of what could potentially be a really fun matchup in UPSL whenever both these sides face off.
We are hearing from Jason Longshore that Hector Moreno has a bit of a cramp, but he is running freely now. That's a player that Current FC can't really afford to exit the field, particularly with, as we've mentioned, their smaller bench. Not as many players travelled from New Smyrna Beach to be here to add that depth to the squad. So you have to think on paper, Soda City, with that deeper squad, have an advantage in terms of the fresh legs and the additional 30 minutes of action that we should see unless something very dramatic happens here from the long throw-in from Theo Wickman.
But you got to think, too, Current FC, with not a lot of personnel on the bench, they've had that for most of the season, too. They've been able to kind of understand when they need to match the energy and get going in games.
Wickman into the boots of Akinade. Back to Wickman. He'll hang this one up to the back post. It's headed down, and then a second header and deflected off of the boot of Branton Saunders, out for a corner. Again, you're seeing 6.5 minutes played, but a large part of that was off of Hector Moreno's injury. Plenty of time allowed for here to see the corner.
Branton Saunders just able to come in really, really quick with the reaction time, brings it up, and then you see it just goes all the way over the goal as we're going to switch it because you had one player from Soda City going to the left side of the field then who's actually called for the right side, but now we got it set and we'll get a corner for Soda City.
Good decision from the referee there. Correct side for Hakeem Martin to send this one in. Hakeem Martin Delivery in, and that will do it. 90 minutes, not enough to separate these two sides as Current FC and Soda City FC go into the end of regulation in a 2-2 draw. Wow, Madison Cruz. What an eventful 90 minutes that was.
Oh, so eventful as the lights come on as we head into overtime. Game started at 3 p.m. as we're headed into 5 p.m. now. Lights are on and emotions are ready to go. 2-2, let's go.
Well, it's lights, camera, action down pitch side to Jason Longshore, who's going to give us a quick recoup of what he saw in the second half of play and also what he expects of extra time.
It's been a wild second half down here, and I'm really fascinated to see what we might see in that second 45 because you've got Current FC, who I think, as you guys have both mentioned multiple times, it's a smaller bench. They're not really using it very much. And I think you're starting to see some players feel the effects of that. And Soda City, bringing fresh legs in, they've been able to exploit that as the 45 went on. I think the way that second half played out is kind of what we saw in the first 45 as well. I think Current is maybe a little more organized, maybe a little more structured. They're not really changing that structure very much. Soda City, very aggressive in that second 45, changing their shape. They went from 3 center backs to 2. They went to a line of 4. They conceded. They went back to the 3 center backs, and they've been able to find those little societies on the field. I think Salifu and Martin especially were key late in that second half, getting those two on the ball around one another so they could find those combinations. It was really important to do that. Salifu dropping into kind of a number 10 spot was fascinating for me, seeing him get that hat trick against KSA and now seeing him play deeper and being very effective in that role. TJ Paul has been so impressive for Soda City, a player that having the chance to see him multiple times over the past few months, you're talking about one of the top captains and one of the top central midfielders in the UPSL. He's really dominating things in the middle of the park. And look, I'll end with this. You guys talked about it when Moreno was cramping up. This game has been so intense, so physical, but it's really been played with the right spirit. Both teams are going one another, but it's not getting chippy. It's not getting edgy. I'm not worried about anything, kicking off between these two teams. They are both battling with everything they got to get to that Final Four. It's been really, really impressive to see. We've seen a little bit of everything through 90. I don't know what's left in the bag for 30 more, but we're about to find out.
Jason Longshore with the expert breakdown. As we expected, Madison Cruz, Jessica Charman, Madison Cruz, Jason Longshore, our entire crew at ASMG. Delighted you're with us on the UPSL YouTube page right now. If you missed the first 90 minutes, don't worry. You've got a whole another half an hour plus potential penalties to come here in Peachtree City, Georgia. Perfect weather for it. Perfect attitude, perfect teams. It has been quite a delight to be a part of. But Madison, as you go into this extra time right now, I do want to touch on the squad depth. And I know you mentioned Current FC maybe has faced adversity before, but you have to think with this roster and the fact that so many of these players are going to have to play a full 120 minutes versus Soda City FC right now, who are full of fresh legs. That's got to serve up a bit of a disadvantage.
Definitely, especially when you look at the roster and how many people Soda City does have on the bench to their disposal. You look at Current FC, and obviously you don't have a lot of the player personnel with you due to travel. Also, just looking at the club as a whole, I mean, you have to try to find moments where you can, and maybe if that's a little spark of energy that helps keep you going, or another goal that keeps you going, a turnover, a great tackle. It's got to be something that you see, that you do on the field, that's going to give you a little bit of that push that you're going to need. Soda City has the personnel. They have the drive. We saw Soda City come back into this one and is able to equalize. We've seen what Soda City can do. It's going to be a very, very fun overtime and possibly penalties.
quick recap if you weren't here for those 90 minutes. It was a quick start for Soda City FC. Lamar Thompson in the 3rd minute. An own goal for Soda City that saw us at 1-1 at halftime. In the second half, a flip of the order. Hector Moreno with a long distance, venomous strike from the dead ball saw Current FC go ahead. And then for Soda City, it was an 85th minute Ralph Solifu equalizer that sees us with 30 more minutes left to play here. Do you see a substitution getting ready to come in? It's Freddie Marcel for Current FC entering the field of play. He'll replace Heath Martin, which, interestingly, I thought that Heath Martin had an engine that would never go flat. Apparently, Heath Martin might need a little bit more gas for the tank, and he's definitely put his mileage in today, has Heath Martin, Madison Cruz.
That is the one thing we saw that Soda City really utilized going in and getting those subs. Current FC has only done it twice in this game, bringing in 2 people from the bench, kind of taking their time and utilizing their subs wisely and taking that opportunity.
Got to make sure as well when you don't have too many subs on the bench that you save some just in case of an injury. It is a Current FC kickoff to get us underway. Hector Moreno stands over the possession. Moreno kicks us off, and 30 more minutes to play. 2 15-minute halves from Peachtree City, Georgia. The UPSL quarterfinals, the Southeast Conference final match. And we're underway with Current FC in those navy blue uniforms. Soda City regaining possession in the light blue. Charging forward is Winston Johnson. Quick connection. Sees Salifu. Square pass, and it's sizzled over the crossbar in the end from Soda City. But that link-up play was jaw-dropping.
I've seen that film before multiple times from Soda City, especially in this game. Reminded me very much of what happened in that 3rd minute in the first half that gave Soda City the lead. You see it, one quick touch, Salifu connects on to the left and just leaning way too far back for that one.
Almost as if the player wasn't prepared for the delivery coming in. Izzy Daniels. Caught under a higher press of Soda City as half-hearted calls for a foul against Nico Diaz. Diaz will appeal. The referee will say no foul given.
It'll be interesting to see how both of these sides handle these next 30 minutes in overtime. I'm interested because you see Soda City right now taking a little bit more time, which we didn't see in the second half. They were taking more opportunities very, very quickly.
Don't forget, Soda City is a side that, of course, is no strangers to overtime. In their championship victory, it took overtime. So they're a side that knows how to battle, knows how to go past the 90 minutes of play. Tamini. Sokolic. And a bit of a stumble, but able to find his footing was Winston Johnson. Johnson with a shirt pull, unnecessary there. Johnson had done enough to earn the throw-in, and then a needless tug back on the jersey sees an opportunity for Current FC to reset through the free kick.
Very unfortunate. That's something you just don't want to give up there. You get the opportunity, you win it, you do all the work, and then it just goes the other way.
A rush of the blood to the head, we will say, for Winston Johnson. Hasn't seen too much of the ball since arriving as a substitute late in the second half of action for Soda City. Monsanto, who's dropped deeper. I think his legs may be looking for a reprieve. The head coach, Nate Monsanto, of course. The player coach just gaining a few extra miles today. Monsanto. Oh. Outside of the boot pass into Izzy Daniels. Back towards Branton Saunders, who's been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde today. Saunders. Pass isn't quite perfect, but a long clearance back to his goalkeeper by Sokolek.
Brandon Saunders just playing in a little bit to what this game is. Tensions are high. You're feeding off the crowd energy too.
I love it. Every game needs a villain. It's just unfortunate that he had the moment of making an error that led to him being very well known with the Soda City fan base, but I'm sure Brandon Saunders will remain focused. Great footwork by Soda City as they get the ball forward to Akinade. Akinade powering forward now. Little dip of the shoulder. Great play from Akinade as he gets it back now. Here's Akinade, winds up the strike. It's blocked away. Controlled by Johnson. Johnson sees his volley deflected off of Weston DeSoto, and it's yet another corner kick now for Soda City. They have had plenty of opportunities from the corners today.
Soda City, Akinade takes the opportunity, has the opportunity on the drive. He decides to hold it for a second, connects, goes back to him, tries the shot. Great work from Saunders. Saunders blocks it, it rebounds, and then another great block by Current FC.
Can they capitalize on one of these corner kicks, though? I've had so many opportunities to whip in deliveries. TJ Paul will have another chance. Paul, great ball in. It dips over the crossbar. Owen Jack making sure acrobatically that he had that one covered with a bit of a pull-up on the crossbar.
Checks and balances, got to make sure that it went over. As you see the corner once again, the in-swinger comes in, great header. That header just goes all the way up and it goes right over the goal.
Better safe than sorry, we say in the goalkeeping world. First 5.5 minutes gone here in the first half of extra time. As Weston DeSoto will take this throw in, trying to get it out of the defensive area. DeSoto into the checking boots of Moreno. DeSoto gets it back to Moreno. Better from Current FC as Izzy Daniels will get a chance to turn and run. Daniels can't keep possession, and instead now heading forward are Soda City. An over-hit pass. Brandon Saunders reads it well.
Wide open.
Johnny Mendoza. Mendoza shapes up, and an acrobatic save from Jacob Cotton.
I don't know where the Soda City player was that left Johnny Mendoza wide open as that ball recycled right back to him. You see it there, it heads down. Johnny Mendoza, no one there, able to take his time, run up and try the shot, but acrobatic work from Jacob Cotton to clear it.
No one should be given that much space to Johnny Mendoza. We know he loves to pull the trigger. Be an out-swinging corner coming in for Current FC. It's hung up and it's easily cleared away. Second ball controlled by Montesanto. And his shot goes wide of the mark. We're going to go down to Jason Longshore, our ever-seeing, ever-hearing sideline reporter. Jason Longshore, 7 minutes gone in the first half of extra time. Your thoughts, please.
I think you're seeing both teams really feel the effects of an intense second half. Both teams starting to look a little bit tired. And it's not always the physical tiredness. I think you're seeing some mental mistakes from both teams as well. But an opportunity might be brewing here for Soda City.
Akinade with some hard work. And in the end, it's picked up 1v1. Pass into the back of the net. Soda City have their goal. So we get another look now. It's a turnover out the back again. And it's Hakeem Martin. May have lost a tooth, but he's got the game-leading goal now.
The journey for Martin, especially what happened in the first half. He comes in, a little bit of collision. He loses a tooth on the pitch, has to come off, comes back into this game, and he said, "Coach, no, I'm going back in." And look what he's able to do in overtime, able to come in clutch for Soda City to give them the 3-2 lead.
What's interesting is there was a point in this game where Hakeem Martin, a second point after the tooth injury, where he was going to be subbed out. But in the end, because of the goal for Current FC, that sub was cancelled. And what a great decision that has proved to be for George Trifos, who now has Hakeem Martin with an assist and a goal in today's game. We're going to go down to Jason Longshore, who had a great view of that goal. Jason, your opinion?
Yeah, well, what's fascinating about it is it was actually Martin was going to be subbed at the end of regulation or to start the extra time. The sub card had been turned in. It was ready to go. And I don't know what happened between that and him starting the second half. My guess is exactly what happened when he lost the tooth. He demanded to stay on the field for his team, and he gives them the 3-2 lead.
Sometimes these things end up paying dividends, and Hakeem Martin's determination displayed today. So it's squared back, a dragged shot is blocked by the boots of Branton Saunders. Current FC have responded once from the deficit, an early goal conceded in the first half. They were able to get the equalizer then. What can they do now, trailing a second time in this match? Saunders tried to play a ball forward. Kale Saunders puts his hand on his head, and Madison, we've talked a lot about the fatigue and the difference in the squad depth. For Current FC right now, they've got to find a second wind, fresh legs from somewhere inside of themselves.
They got to. You see Owen Jack coming forward, screaming at his side, giving directions, trying to get something going. It was a great opportunity, just wasn't able to communicate well. I believe that pass trying to go up was looking for Nico Diaz, trying to make that run. But we'll see if Current FC is able to find some last-ditch effort, some momentum to get back into this one.
Still got 20 minutes to play. 5 minutes of this first half and a full 15 of the second, but unable to save that one was Weston DeSoto. It's out for a goal kick. You can just see on the camera now Soda City's fans from Columbia, South Carolina, feeling like they believe a little bit more now.
Jacob Cotton just going to take his time. Soda City fans loving it.
Can you blame them? It's certainly been a non-linear path to this way, so to say. A bumpy road, a difficult journey, but right now Soda City will continue their journey towards a repeat of the national championship.
But one thing that is so interesting is that coming into this one, Soda City, when they had the lead the last time, Current FC was able to come in and was able to equalize.
Izzy Daniels trying to get on the ball. This time, though, he's dispossessed. Soda City seem to have light blue jerseys everywhere. Akinade tries to toe poke it back into Hakeem Martin. He's able to forward the ball into Winston Johnson. Johnson through two defenders and then takes the trip. Nate Monsanto will see the referee's whistle blown against him, and a dangerous set piece again for Soda City.
Very dangerous as you have Hakeem Martin getting set. Gonna take this one for Soda City. It's really interesting, especially as we get closer to the end of the first half of overtime, how Current FC can respond in the second half. We saw this light and this spark that happened in the second half for Current FC. Is that going to happen again here?
It needs to happen again, and that'll be the mentality as the referee heads over to the touchline. You know who I'm going to go to? I'm going to go to Jason Longshore because he's standing right there. Jason Longshore, what is the Soda City FC bench not happy about?
Well, you can see it right now, the yellow card to the Soda City bench, the assistant warning about if there's another time he has to come over, a red card will be issued. The complaint was a yellow card was requested on that foul on Johnson in the corner. The referee crew said no, and that was not received very well by the Soda City bench.
Thank you very much, Jason. I was expecting a yellow card, but it wasn't given as the goalkeeper, Owen Jack, punches that one away with 2 hands. It's a little late in is Hector Moreno, but the referee turns his head. Moreno, back to goal, has to lay it back. Moreno, forward into Monsanto. Monsanto with some tired legs, unable to find the pass. Just feels right now like Current FC has lost that spark, is running on fumes.
Running on fumes is what I would say. Is you sit there and you think a red card has been shown to the Soda City bench.
We'll see what that changes as the red card shown to the man sitting down on the bench. He will have to vacate the premises. Jason Longshore, I'm coming back to you, my friend.
Well, I was first dodging the deflection that ended up coming my way. It's interesting that George Trifos is the one who was sent off in that situation. Believe the yellow card had been for the assistant before that, but the referee was very clear in saying that if he had to come back over here, he was going to give a red card, and he did in that situation.
Soda City FC will be out without head coach George Trifos, who has a long walk now to make around the rounds of Peachtree City, and he'll have to watch from outside the premises, of course, now that he has received that red card. A lonely walk for George Trifos, who's probably a little frustrated with his assistant coach right now, Madison, for allowing him to get a red card in that manner.
Emotions are running high, especially in a collision like that with how close it's come to. You had a really, really hectic second half. Now an even crazier overtime as we still got another 15 to play with a little bit of stoppage time here in the first. You got Soda City just trying to hold on. They got the 3-2 lead right now, but Current FC, all it takes is one moment, and Current FC running on fumes. You see they're taking a little bit slower when they need to be, picking up the pace a little bit more and getting into the attacking half when they get the ball.
Obviously a lot easier for us to say it up here as we sit on our backsides commentating, but 100% agree with you, Madison, that as difficult as it is, this is a quarter-final game. If you are unable to get a goal, then your season is done for. 2 minutes in the first half of extra time for Current FC to continue to battle, and then the remaining 15 minutes would, of course, be played.
A little shocked that it's 2 minutes of stoppage time and not a little bit more, just because of some of the extracurriculars we had with the red card, the yellow card over on the bench, then the red, and just the waiting for George Trifos to make the walk around. I'm a little shocked it's just 2.
Certainly has felt a little bit more stop-start, and I don't think we've had the ball in the field of play for nearly 15 minutes of action. Soda City do have a free kick now, as it will be sent in to the 18 towards Akinade, who controls it down nicely. Akinade drags his shot. Be a simple pickup in the end for Owen Jack. Ball is punted long to Chase. Moreno right now the closest to it for Current FC. It'll be sent towards us. It's our turn to be a little bit worried about the destination of the ball as we hear it take a couple of hops on the roof ahead of us.
People at MOBA are going to have a fun time trying to get that one down from the roof.
Are you not volunteering to climb up to get it, Madison?
Well, listen, I don't know if I have the acrobatics to do that one.
Ball will be thrown in by Current FC as it's left out of play. Smartly done by Weston De Soto, who will throw it in again towards Moreno. Moreno, it's a strike in the end. Nate Monsanto caught that one really well. He's driving down that far side now. It's cleared out for a deep defensive throw-in for Soda City.
According to Jason Longshore, who saw the ball just go right over us, it actually made its way to the parking lot.
Somebody's picking up a very nice high-quality soccer ball and maybe not being too honest about the destination of where that ball ends up.
Or it could be a calling card. If anyone sees a ball in the parking lot, please bring it back.
Brandon Saunders starts it back with Owen Jack in goal. On the referee's whistle now, of course. We are getting closer and closer to the halftime in extra time. Kale Sanders on a long run forward. And that will be the halftime whistle in extra time. It was a goal from Hakeem Martin, the toothless assassin, with the game-leading goal right now in this UPSL quarterfinal national playoff matchup. Madsen Cruz, thoughts on that 15?
It's so interesting to see the half that we saw in the second and then seeing this first half of overtime. You saw Soda City really take control with that spark, and I think a lot of it did have to do with how much they have on the bench to their disposal, able to come on and be fresh legs and able to come in and bring that spark. Current FC kind of fell off a little bit. They didn't have that spark that we saw in the second half. If I am that entire team right now, especially since you have head coach Nate Monsanto right over there, I'm telling them it just takes one moment. We've seen it so many times in this sport, how one moment, whether it's a tackle, a free kick, we see how that moment can change the scope and the momentum of everything. And that is what I'm telling Current FC right now. You got to find something that gives you that energy to come back into this one.
Getting a look right now at the Soda City FC huddle, of course, without head coach George Trifos right now. Assistant coach doing his duties, though. We'll go down to Jason Longshore on the sidelines. I know you've got some good listening ears, Jason. What's your vibe on the touchlines right now?
It's interesting watching both huddles from my vantage point, and Current, it really looks like they're feeling the effects of having that shorter bench. They all look very tired. It's much looser. There's players stretching, trying to find whatever energy they can possibly find. Not really a lot of conversation from the Current group. From Soda City, it's arms around one another. They're all together. Hakeem Martin trying to get some hydration. He's been amazing in this match to have the injury that he did, and to the point that, you know, when I was standing over here, and don't want to get too graphic about that part of it, but when I'm standing over here and people are telling him, you know, you should probably sub out, you should probably not go back in, and he's never wavered, never said that. And as we talked about, he was going to be subbed at the end of regulation, and something changed, and my guess, it was him himself saying, I've still got something to give in this match. And right now, he might be booking Soda City a trip back to the UPSL Final Four.
Thank you, Jason Longshore. We'll get back to Jason at the full-time whistle. He will be joined by some players as well. And I have a feeling if Soda City FC do book that ticket to California, that it may be Hakeem Martin, if he's not on a way to an emergency dentist to get that tooth sorted. Time is of the essence, Hakeem Martin.
Absolutely. Got to make sure that one gets checked out first. So if we can't get Hakeem Martin after the game, then I think we all know where he's going to be going.
We've got 15 more minutes left of action. The Current understanding the task ahead of them. It is a tall task. We'll see if they make any drastic changes tactically in the waning moments of the match to try and generate some more attacking prowess for Soda City FC. 15 minutes away from booking their ticket to California for the semi-finals and getting one step closer in the journey to truly defending for their title in the championship match. The reigning UPSL champions, of course. Does look like Hakeem Martin is really hurting, according to Jason Longshore on the touchline.
I mean, it's been a very emotional game, especially for Hakeem Martin. You come in, especially when you have a situation like that, losing a tooth on the pitch, having to come off for a little bit, then coming back on, you have all that adrenaline, and now you reach that high of scoring the game-winning goal as of right now for your side, and that adrenaline is probably coming down a little bit.
Salifu gets a give and go with Akinade. Salifu uses his body. Flores trying to get onto it in the 18. It's Toe poked away by Branton Saunders, going to ground. Soda City have a corner.
Great look. Salifu comes in, gets tripped up, still trying to hold on to it, able to clear it. You had some shouts from Current FC that they wanted it to be a goal kick. A card is going to be shown to Soda City. Time wasting there. He was tying his shoe.
I'm guessing his shoes might not have been untied.
I think I would agree with you.
We call it Soccer IQ Dark Arts. It's part of the game. And I think Current FC will appreciate if they were in that scenario, they'd probably be doing the same. Driven corner into the front post. It's deflected off of the line. I think it was Johnny Mendoza that ended up with the last touch. And then a strike ricochets off the bar. And goodness gracious, he's done it again. Don't count out Hakeem Martin. The toothless assassin is able to strike golden. And Soda City FC are booking their ticket in to the semi-finals of the UPSL Championship game.
Who other than Hakeem Martin to come in and just capitalize? The one thing you see from Current FC, instead of just booting it out of there, you keep it in, trying to hold on to possession. I don't think that was the right move from Current FC. If you get that opportunity to clear it, you clear it. You take that opportunity. But Hakeem Martin was right there to capitalize. MVP of the match.
He might be hurting, but he's certainly not showing it, and he is hurting the hopes right now of Current FC. It's been a valiant effort from the side from New Smyrna Beach, but now the mountain is growing as Flores rounds one defender. It's flicked off of the head of Branton Saunders. It can't be saved by Owen Jack, and just feels like Soda City right now with the squad depth to continue to raise the tempo.
The squad depth, and then the players that you even have that have started from the very beginning. Ralph Salifu is one of them, being a huge playmaker. He was a little bit silent at the very beginning. And then you have Hakeem Martin. I mean, you bring it up. He is the toothless assassin coming in, was able to check out temporarily, comes back in and makes a huge impact.
Salifu will take an in-swinging corner now. Salifu goes low along the ground, cleared away, but only as far as a Soda City jersey. Salifu will get another opportunity here. A little bit of a step over as he tries to round the defender. It's out of play, goal kick. Let's talk to Jason Longshore right now. Jason, you said Hakeem Martin was hurting, but he's certainly not showing it with that strike.
Yeah, like right after my break, my hit there between the two halves of extra time, Martin was right in front of me, wincing, just trying to get liquids in him. Looked like he was in a lot of pain. Players were asking him, are you good? And he said yes. And obviously, with that left-footed strike, he's feeling pretty good for now, but I do think he's going to be subbed out here in a little bit.
It'll be a standing ovation, no doubt, for Hakeem Martin when he does walk over to the sidelines. What a performance it has been, and a true testament to betting on yourself and believing in your abilities.
And just even taking a quick look at some of the stats from the season, Hakeem Martin just scored his first 2 goals of the entire season with Soda City in these last couple of minutes. Hadn't scored this season, comes in and is able to find 2 to earn a brace for himself and solidify his team's ticket to the national finals.
Talk about a big-time player. Zach Ziolo comes on to the action for Current FC. First touch is nice on that far side. Was Izzy Daniels. And an attacking throw will suffice for Current FC. Minutes for Current FC right now. The team from New Smyrna Beach in Florida, known as a surfer town, but certainly showing soccer belongs in New Smyrna Beach. The first semi-pro soccer team, the only semi-pro soccer team from New Smyrna Beach, certainly doing that area and the entire Florida UPSL proud with the performance right now.
That's where you have to give credit to Current FC. The fight that they did have is so huge, and they're showing it here.
It's a sneaky little move forward by Gabriel Hugo. It's how to play, and Soda City will continue to earn corner kick after corner kick.
Soda City just punching the wind out of Current FC right now. Any opportunity that they have to even try to find another goal in this, it just keeps going right back their way, and they keep giving away these corner kicks to Soda City, which allows them to spend more time and gives them another opportunity.
Ralph Salifu will take this corner. Without his goal, Soda City would have been out in regulation as Salifu serves it in, cleared away. Martin heads it back into a dangerous area. Akande will shield. No foul called. Trying to find a long pass forward right now, our Current FC. Big tackle comes in at the halfway line. Soda City right now, impenetrable as the ball finds Flores. Jose Flores rounding the defender, tried to spin in a shot. Blocked away. And Salifu outside of the boot to Flores. Flores going round the defender. This time winds up the strike pretty wide off of the mark by Jose Flores.
Current FC, Owen Jack just trying to find something here to build as they try to find their way back into this one. You still have time. Both have probably seen crazier, especially when it comes to the beautiful game with what we have seen. There's still time, but Current FC has got to find a way to get forward.
And they're going to have to be brave. They're going to have to open up. And yes, there's a reward, but there's a huge risk to it. And if they do open up too much, with the pace up top for Soda City, they may get punished. As Freddie Marcel battling in the corner. A foul is called, and this is a nice opportunity for Current FC to look to cut the deficit. It's a free kick right in the corner being awarded for Current FC. We'll get another look.
As you see, they're just trying to win it back, able to do so, and he just gets caught from behind. It'll be a free kick for Current. And this is that moment that I was talking about. This could be it. The moment that Current FC could find this spark to come back in.
Cutting that deficit in half could change the entire emotion and fight. Give Current FC something to believe in, but they need the right service. Mendoza is headed away too easily from a Current perspective. Owen Jack, goalkeeper with a nosebleed in his position as he tried to launch it up to Branton Saunders. And now exposed is the back line of Current FC. Jose Flores is offside. The fans in line with it, better in line than us, are not happy with it. You know what, Jason Longshore, you're closer to the angle. What did you think of that one? Was it offside for Jose Flores?
It's a tough one from my angle because there were at least two players offside, maybe a third. I'm not sure if Flores was among them, but I didn't have the right on the line angle.
Perfect honesty from our expert on the sideline, Jason Longshore. Did see a yellow card flash to Jose Flores for clearing the ball away. Ball served in. Chested down in the box. And a strike rips over the crossbar. Interesting to see how high up the pitch Branton Saunders has started to stay. The defender needing to be an outlet as we get a look at that opportunity for Current FC.
Just wants to rip it. Able to chest it down. It falls right there. You see that collision. There's a little bit of calling to see if there was a foul in the box and what it was, but I think just they ran into each other, and that's something you just sometimes just can't avoid.
Long goal kick sent forwards. Saunders heads it back where it came from. It's ping-ponging around. This is Izzy Daniels connected with Monsanto, who takes a tumble. Current free kick and another ball kicked away. We'll see a yellow card, and things heating up a little bit now. Not an easy position for a referee. Mr. Joshua to find himself in here as the yellow card is rightly shown to Gabriel Hugo.
Soda City doing a lot of extra things that don't need to be done. You have 2 goals ahead of current FC right now. You don't need to be doing those pushes, clearing the ball. I get it. You're time wasting, but at some point.
Owen Jack will send this one in towards the edge of the 18. Strike from distance, hits the crossbar. It's controlled down, second volley, saved by the keeper. Jacob Cotton with a flying save to prevent the full volley from Nico Diaz that was destined for top bin. Everybody is up, goalkeeper is up. Current FC, no, they need something. It's flicked into an area, headed deep, flicked on in front of the goalkeeper, and Jacob Cotton will go to ground. The offside flag is raised. Soda City clinging onto the 2-goal cushion by fingernails.
Whew. So much happens. You have Owen Jack coming in, a clear launch that goes off the crossbar, still able to keep it in. Nico Diaz tries the volley to keep it in, and then it just gets pushed out by Cotton.
There's absolutely no right for Jacob Cotton to make that save. It's immense, and he'll be called upon here again. We talked about the story of Jacob Cotton. Wasn't destined to start this game necessarily. Didn't start the last match. It was Blaise McGuinness in goal then. Jacob Cotton having a career game right now as the man of the minute. Hakeem Martin gets a well-deserved standing ovation. He has been absolutely remarkable, showing every single characteristic of a tough-as-nails player with quality to boot. Hakeem Martin with 2 goals and a missing tooth.
May have lost a tooth, but added it to his resume with everything he was able to do in this match for Soda City. Not only coming off as a temporary sub, telling his coach, no, I got this, I'm coming back in, and is able to be so impactful for Soda City. He's going to be huge, especially as they try to make their run to hopefully be back-to-back champions.
2 goals and, of course, the assist on the goal in the 3rd minute as well. Hakeem Martin with a remarkable match and a well-deserved moment to enjoy from the sidelines right now as Soda City FC are just 2 minutes away from booking their ticket in the semi-finals of the UPSL National Championship. Izzy Daniels. Ball is threaded forwards. Soda City quickest to respond. Here's those fresh legs as caught from behind, but still able to fight on. It was TJ Paul caught the first time, Ralph Salifu caught the second time, and TJ Paul going to ground with a little instance of cramp. His side have actually tried to take the free kick, and it will get pulled up back now with TJ Paul being stretched out right now by Gabriel Hugo.
A lot of running. Got stretched out. He's pulled up by his teammate.
TJ Paul has been a really impressive leader in this game. I remember Jason Longshaw, of course, mentioning TJ Paul and his conversation with the bench about missing a compatriot in that midfield. But TJ Paul has had all of the energy in the world in the middle of the park, and I think he deserves that stretch. It's a long ball switched over to the far side. Can Soda City keep it in? No, they can't.
It's going to be rolled quickly to Owen Jack. And see if Current FC can try to create something.
Owen Jack taking his space. Hail Mary, last chance saloon. Can they make things interesting for whatever stoppage time is shown on our 4th official scoreboard? Akinade. Switched across now towards Flores. Flores trying to round the tired legs of Kale Sanders. Sanders able to get back, and now it was between Flores and Sanders. Both of them guilty as more players joining in, and these are the sour scenes that we do not need to see right now as all hell is breaking loose. The referee's getting shoved, and Madison, not what you want to see right now as too many players involved in a full field scrum.
especially when you've seen the way both of these sides had competed in this game, to have it come to a close like that's not what you want to see, especially with just how competitive this game was.
Yeah, just a little bit unnecessary, to be quite frank. It did look like it was Jose Flores that began the initial duel alongside Kale Saunders after Saunders dispossessed him, and then everybody jumping into the action. Security and Nick Favela as well with Peachtree City MOBA doing a very good job of helping out the referees getting that action settled. We'll see if the referee opts to force any discipline here. Big moment, as you mentioned, Madison. For Soda City in particular, with your season following, you don't want anyone picking up any cautions, any cards that lead to suspension from the semi-final game that you're about to book your ticket into. So 2 yellow cards shown. Interesting that TJ Paul saw a yellow card. We'll see who the current player is. They've received a yellow shortly, but didn't have TJ Paul on the top of my list of those involved with that confrontation, if I'm completely honest. The other player shown the yellow card was Freddie Marcel.
Would have thought, like you mentioned, would have thought that Jose Flores would have seen actually his second yellow. Because if you remember, he picked up one earlier on in the overtime.
Johnny on the spot.
He was one of the ones that really got into that fight. I'm a little shocked that he wasn't given that second yellow, and that's also not good for Soda City, because you need a player like him who can come in and be an impact in the game, especially as you head to the finals.
We'll give our referee a shout out for the game management of not leading too many players exiting the field. It's Joshua Manrufo, assisted by Stephen Faria, Thomas Brigman, and the fourth is Daniel Emery. Not an easy role to be in, so we will give them praise in handling that moment well.
Has done an excellent job refereeing, I think, this entire game, especially with how high these games can be and how the emotion can really, really get the better of a lot of these guys. It's really good to see, especially from this referee crew, how they've managed a lot of these situations.
We'll call it passion, overflowing. And this game has certainly been full to the brim of passion. Akinade will chase this one. 5 players streaming forward for Soda City. If they can find the right pass. Over to the far side, it's Winston Johnson. Big challenge came in, out the back. Soda City bench don't like it. We did see 1 minute of stoppage time added. We are on the referee's whistle as a yellow card is shown to Nate Monsanto for the sliding challenge gone wrong. We'll get another look at it here.
Just comes in a little late. You see that they're on the break on the right side. Monsanto just comes in really late on that challenge. Ball is nowhere near it. It's the right call by the ref.
And that will do it. The final whistle blows. Soda City FC continue their storm towards a repeat of the UPSL Championship. They are 1 step closer entering the semi-finals with a victory over Current FC. Final score after double extra time. It's 4-2 in favor of the team from Columbia, South Carolina. Got to talk about Hakeem Martin to start things off. Madison Cruz. What a performance from Hakeem Martin.
Just the journey that Hakeem Martin had throughout this entire game. Started the game really early on, a collision. As he gets knocked down, I remember I saw that whole play develop. He was looking at his mouth, kind of like looking down. And initially I thought maybe, he accidentally bit his lip or something. We didn't really know. He came off as a temporary substitution. We then find out he lost a tooth on the field, tells his coach, you need to get this figured out, but he says, no, I'm coming back in. I need to be here for my team, and I need to come in and make an impact. And make an impact he did. He comes in, and in a lot of pain, as Jason Longshore said, was able to find a brace to solidify the next ticket for Soda City. Just outstanding from Hakeem Martin.
Your hearts have to break from the side from New Smyrna Beach, Current FC. A valiant effort for the debutants at the UPSL level. An incredible story to arrive here. The Florida Conference champions battling it out, as we talked about, for the Southeastern title. Took it all the way to extra time. Just ran out of gas in the end. But Current FC, what a testament to the club and the culture, Madison, that they're creating in New Smyrna Beach.
I will tell you, the Florida Central Conference needs to watch out for Current FC, especially as they head into next season. They are going to have a chip on their shoulder. They know what it's like now to get to this point and want to continue and move forward. We saw what they did, what they were able to do against other teams, the passion and the resilience that Current FC has. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch them as they continue their journey in the UPSL in the Premier Division. I'm really looking forward to what I see from them.
So we take a look back at the incredible 120 minutes that we've seen today in Peachtree City, Georgia. The action started quick, Madison. A goal early on for Soda City in the 3rd minute coming from Lamar Thompson.
Lamar Thompson, there's a reason why he is the reigning MVP of the national tournament. Just the impact that he is able to have on this team. A standout player, able to come in real quickly, get the response, and keep it going.
After that, of course, it was an own goal equalizer coming from a little bit of miscommunication out the back from Soda City.
Just a little bit of miscommunication, as it was a great work from Weston DeSoto, who was able to come in on the left. You see him make the cross, and just a little bit more wide open miscommunication from Tamini and well as Cotton. Just a little bit of miscommunication, and it falls right into the back of the net.
Well, the free kick was stunning from Current FC's Hector Moreno. What a shot that was.
Whew. Able to come in, make it 2-1. Hector Moreno, saw the open opportunity, and he took it.
Ralph Salifu took things to extra time in the 85th minute for Soda City FC, a tap-in at the back post.
Ralph Salifu, from watching him against Kalanji Pro Profile, he is an outstanding player, and there's a reason why he is such a powerhouse for Soda City.
And of course, the brace in extra time from Hakeem Martin, displaying 2 different types of goal. A short shot, and then the incredible cherry on the top for Hakeem Martin.
Just the adrenaline at this point, I think, for Hakeem Martin is so crazy at this point, especially because now, after all of this, after the trophy celebration, you know I got to go find an emergency dentist to help with the tooth situation. But what a way to go out on this pitch, make a stance, and now punch your ticket for your team to go to the national finals.
Can't forget all the other drama, of course. George Trifos got a red card in the action. Jacob Cotton with one of the best saves you're going to see in the entire UPSL season in extra time that kept things in a winning position for Soda City FC. We're getting ready for the trophy presentation coming up now. So we get a close-up look at everybody for Soda City. It has been a team effort. And I think what is so impressive for the side from Columbia, South Carolina, is the ability to go back-to-back and make such a deep run. A lot of times, Madison, you'll see sides become a little predictable. Teams start to figure them out. That is not the case with Soda City FC. They'll have a little boogie right now down on the pitch. A+ for the soccer skills. Not quite sure the grade of the dancing right now for the Mid-Atlantic Conference champions.
They're having a fun time out there.
They're tired. I don't know if it's a dance or a little inbout of cramp, honestly, but you wouldn't see me bachata down there on camera. But I haven't also just been crowned the Southeast UPSL champions. The medals will be awarded. George Trifos receiving his medal. Be interesting to know. I believe he won't be able to coach on the sidelines for the semi-finals, so that will be a huge loss, Madison.
That's what I was exactly going to say. George Trifos, you able to come out of this match, you're able to secure it, but now you're without your head coach for the semi-final match, especially as you head, and that's an important match, and it's so unfortunate, but especially with the way that Soda City handled themselves when George Trifos was not on the bench, it'll be very interesting to see.
I think that's a testament to the coaching, that the identity was still so strong, that the fight was still there, that you are not a team that is coached by a PlayStation-style manager that you have to have on the touchline telling you what to do. As the medals being handed out. And Niaza Tamini, who's just being given that medal, will be very happy that the own goal wasn't too costly. A really quality player, and probably having a bit of a giggle about that right now.
And just being able to bounce back from it. After that, you saw just, he was solid in that back line for Soda City the entire time. And even too, we got to talk about Jacob Cotton once again, because a lot of that was a little bit of miscommunication, not being able to read that. But we saw Jacob Cotton have some of the best saves I think I have seen in a while. Was able to bounce back and be such a force in between the posts for Soda City.
An absolutely fantastic save, point blank, that prevented Nico Diaz making for a really, really interesting finish to the game. Ralph Salifu just received his medal. What a quality player he is. Left it late, 85th minute, but big-time players have the ability to pop up in the most important moments.
You do see Hakeem Martin. He's there all the way in the very, very back. Just waiting right now. Hopefully we'll get the opportunity to chat with him if he is not being shipped to emergency dentist, which that should be the first stop, especially after you get done celebrating.
I've heard down the pipeline we will have TJ Paul joining us with Jason Longshore shortly after the trophy presentation. And here come the final medals being presented. Theo Wickman just saw his medal awarded, and now to the man of the moment, Hakeem Martin, getting a well-deserved mouthful of gauze. Still can't speak, can't celebrate, but boy, oh boy, will Hakeem Martin remember this night for the rest of his life. TJ Paul heads over to pick up the trophy. And Soda City FC do it yet again. They are your Southeast Regional Champions and have booked their ticket to the semi-finals of the UPSL National Championship. Can they do it again? Can they become the first side in UPSL history to get the back-to-back national champions? Who would bet against the Madison Crews?
I wouldn't. I absolutely would not, especially just the character that Soda City has shown. I'm very excited to see what comes of these next couple of matches as they head to the semifinals.
Great scenes, and the party, I'm sure, will continue. We're going to take a quick step aside as we wait for TJ Paul to make his way over to Jason Longshore, who obviously is the captain of this Soda City side. That interview will be coming soon. For myself, Jessica Charman, for Madison Cruz, for Jason Longshore, and our entire crew at ASMG, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us now, and an interview with TJ Paul, I'm sure, will follow shortly.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.